walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Feel like a dynamite, ready to explode right up in the sky. I need you to listen, I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul.
Nightmares creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire.
Hello and welcome to day 8 of the Challenger League Season 10. My name is Red and I'm joined tonight by Spruce. How have you
How
been
are
tonight,
we?
my dude?
I've been good. I've lost a few kilos, so I'm feeling all right.
Oh, geez, you're doing better than me, mate. I
Yeah.
can't keep my weight under control. Tonight's schedule, we are going to be looking at 2 maps of Rhythm versus Read My Aggression, followed up by Homeless versus Team 53, also 2 maps. Outside of that, how are you thinking these are going to, or our first 2 maps are going to lead, Sprucey?
Well, both teams it's kind of make or break. If they secure these wins, they're looking pretty good for Pro League right now. So Rhythm definitely looking favourites over RMA. They've had an underwhelming season to say the least. They were looking hot in the quals, but come Challenge League time, it went a bit downhill. On the flip side, we have Team 53 and Homeless. Homeless have almost stitched it up. I reckon they're looking pretty good. And going against Team 53, also another team which hasn't been looking the greatest, but they'll definitely come out of the blocks rocking hard, throwing a few punches. So it'll be interesting to see what maps we go to as well.
All right, so for the lineups we do have on tonight, for Rhythm we have Lieb, Unit, Thumbnail, Worthy, and Waymay. And on Read My Aggression we have Mop from Malta, Lucifer, Punisher, Sagon, and Bundy. They've all been doing pretty decently. I'm going to agree with you on those call outs, though, Spruce. Rhythm's done really, really well for themselves over the entire period of the series. They haven't lost a game yet outside of a tie with Homeless. So I'm going to be leaning towards them myself as well.
You're an educated man, Red. What can I say? Yeah, I don't think there's really any maps you can rock Rhythm on either. They've got a pretty deep map pool. The same with Homeless. I mean, they've looked good on Cafe. They've taken 2 maps against Cryptic on that, and same with Rhythm. Like they've looked really rock solid on Bank. That maybe a few hiccups through the way, but apart from that, it's looked really good for both teams. So, it'd be interesting to see they can just continue this on.
Yeah, we're going to be jumping straight into the vetoes as these map bans come out. Do you have any ideas of what maps are going to go through?
I'm not 100% sure, really. Like when you look at the stats, I mean, they do tend to they favor larger maps. Rhythm, they don't really like the smaller maps, so it'll be interesting to see if maybe we can see something go to a smaller map and see if they can flex their map depth off. They've banned Clubhouse at the very least 4 times and Coastline 4 times. So it'd be interesting to see if we do go to those maps, see if Rhythm can pull it out. But apart from that, I'm not too sure.
All right, we have found our map for the first game of tonight. They are going to be playing on Coastline. This is the first time we've seen Coastline in this series, which is kind of interesting to see. Interesting enough that Rhythm have actually banned it every time they've played outside of tonight. I was more expecting Border myself, but it's nice to see mix up. Nice to see Coastline coming out. And we are going to be getting into the game very, very shortly. Which give us a caster's curse, mate.
A caster's curse. I'm saying
Caster's curse.
I'm gonna say 7-3.
7-3?
7-3 Rhythm way. Yeah, 7-3 Rhythm way.
Oh, that's pretty fair. I'm gonna
What
go.
are you thinking? Yeah.
Maybe 7-4.
7-4. Okay, you're a generous man.
I reckon RMA could definitely pull one back. We haven't seen anyone playing this map yet, and on top of that, Rhythm has been spam banning it. So at the end of the day, they might not be too flash on it. We are going to jump straight into the game, though. Very, very soon. They are just smashing through the ban phase.
Jackal, nothing spectacular there. Coming out early as well. It's kind of a default ban rank in comp right now, so nothing to really look into it too much. Coastline isn't exactly a heavy roaming map, but if you can get those footprints down, it's an easy pinch, so it will allow for some deeper roams.
Yeah, very, very default sort of play. The Capital one coming out, very, very useful as well, especially when you're playing, obviously, in bedroom. Like, trying to hold that wall is very, very hard. I know everyone likes to play over towards hookah and, like, billiards nowadays. However, you know, it's still probably one of the more preferred sites, that and, obviously, kitchen.
Yeah, just Capital on any of these bomb sites can be a strong operator. Like, you can get burnt out of what is it, the red bar, you can get burnt out of drinks, you can get burnt out of the bedroom. There's so many places where he's really strong with his utility. So seeing him out, nothing too surprising. The Jaeger ban is the interesting ban though, and that if they manage to capitalize on that with these nades, I think this will look good for RMA in their starting attack.
Yeah, and we are going to be getting underway in just a sec. Bans are finally through, and we're getting into these 6th picks. It's a pretty decent lineup that they've got going. 6th pick Glaz into Ying, though. That's it's not a bad thing, but at the same time, I would say it's more of an obvious play that they're going to swap that out. Though it is nice to see the Valkyrie get swapped in off the dock. Bit more of that information game going on. Very, very useful. Helps out overall. Everyone else, though, you got Maestro.
We have 4 sets of nades, by the way.
Oh, damn. And Jaeger's banned. Ooh.
Yeah,
Ooh.
so they're definitely playing into the strat. That's a big read. And if they can manage to land them well, it will look good for them.
Yeah, very, very standard walls coming out from them. But outside of that, they are taking down that kitchen wall.
5 seconds left.
Which is, it's a more of a standardized play. Make sure as long as they can maintain that top floor control, I think they'll usually be okay. These Valkyrie cams going outside on the north end. Very, very useful in the long run. Make sure that they can contest that kitchen window at the end of the day, and it's just going to help them out overall.
Yeah, if they can manage to just kitchen attack, I think the nades probably might not come in as useful as, say, a hookah or a penthouse attack. But even then, if they can land them in the right places, it works out well. And you can already see from Malta just chucking one up top of white, seeing if he can find some fish, chucking a few baits out.
Yeah, they're going for this upstairs push heavily as much as they can. Try and get in there, maybe get a couple of those frags. As you said, picking that 4 frag, definitely going to be useful with the Jaeger out of the board, and especially getting people out of those tiny little nitpicky corners definitely helps out. Sagon trying to get in there, but I don't think he knows the Valkyrie camera's there, and we're going to be seeing him just holding out and taking out the camera, and potentially coming around and pick up the first frag of the night.
Yeah, nice to see him entering Lina Duo here. They're not doing anything too stupid. They're playing for trades, which is a nice change. And Thumbnail gets an early one onto Bundy. I'm not too sure whether that got set off, but it's still in a pinch here on Uni. Doesn't find him, doesn't drone him. There's no drones going at him. He just gets a free kill onto Sagon. And Lucifer doesn't even try to follow it up. Then he gets another one to Unit. Just poor drone work there from RMA, and it's punishing them, and a lack of refragging from Lucifer as well, not following the sledge through the hole. So, yeah, just a little bit disappointing from RMA there.
Yeah, that first round definitely didn't go in their favor. The intelligence game definitely didn't pay off for them in comparison to, obviously, you've got 3 sets of eyes coming out from Rhythm. They've got Valkyrie, they've got Maestro, they've got Mozzie. You've got the Legion mines, which are going to slow it down even more. Potentially bringing an IQ might have been the better play, maybe potentially dropping either the Ying or something. That first round obviously going to Rhythm, as Thumbnail does pick up that final kill onto Mop with a clean headshot across the bar. But, we were kind of expecting this to happen at the end of the day. Rhythm have just kind of got the better playstyle overall in general. And it looks like they should be able to, especially for the first couple rounds on defense, they'll probably take it, I'd say, maybe lose 1 round on defense and then lose 2 on attack.
Yeah, now that they've brought out a slightly different lineup, they've toned it all the way back. They've gone back to 1 set of nades, and they're still not bringing an IQ. Now, I can understand the Nomad, Ash, Zofia, and Twitch. There's definitely one of those operators you can switch out for an IQ. So I'm kind of confused as to why we're not seeing it, especially with the verticality on this map.
Need to locate
You
and
can
defuse
just
bombs.
enter below into blue bar and get 3 picks onto any utility you want. You can even get camera kills if you want. So it's a little bit disappointing that they're not bringing it out.
Oh, well, they're bringing the destructibility at least, but it does look like Rhythm are also going to be doing the exact same thing, playing more of their players downstairs yet again, and just maintaining control over towards, you know, the blue bar section and maintaining VIP. Very standard sort of ranked setup coming out. We've seen this all before. It's nothing out of the ordinary. But, you know, they've still got their edge advantage. They're still picking the same operators. The Polis is a really nice pick on top of it as well, bringing that fourth, like dropping out the Legion. But, you know, it puts a little bit more strain onto Cool Vibe stairs because it's a bit harder to hold it. But at the same time, you'll still have that verticality C4. And we do see Unit just run outside and take out Pun. Clean headshot with that MPX. What an absolute mad lad as Bundy peeks back in to see if he can find out whether he's there. He's doing the right thing, though. He's making sure he drones everything out before he heads on inside. Seeing nobody immediately, but...
That's a good pick for an early one as well. Nomad, there goes your, gives you access to runouts as well, so not complaining there either. The fact that they're bringing a Twitch back to the operator picks is also, a Twitch is really good for getting rid of ADSs, and they're not bringing a Legion or a Jaeger, so I'm kind of a bit confused as to why they're bringing that. It must be a comfort pick of some sort.
Either way, they are still in a bit of an awkward situation. Oh no, no way. Thumbnail taking down Lucifer in the most awkward way possible with the Twitch drone.
That's just BM. That's just BM.
Absolutely crazy.
Well, they're just going hard right down. No drones. I guess they've just given up and gone Hail Mary for it. They're going to just try to work these angles, see if they can get the first pick on the Thumbnail. If they can find this, they'll look good, but no, Thumbnail gets tagged up just the same amount as Bundy. So it's looking pretty dim with 1 minute and 20 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, I'm noticing that RMA are really struggling to try and just get into like the map in general. Even though they've taken control of VIP and bedroom now, they have to use up so much of their ordnance just to get in. And we do see Isworthy playing down here, and he's more than likely going to be calling out that second C4 plus his own. And he's just willy-nilly waiting this out. 2 plays left on RMA. Bundy not looking in a good way, and Mop really needs to probably clutch out as best he can and bring it back for his boys as, you know, Rhythm are looking incredibly strong straight off the bat.
It's just stat pad time now. I reckon they're going to try and see if Rhythm lose a bit of patience and start trying to push up on them and get those free frags. But apart from that, the thing it's going to be looking good for is Guzz's power stat just better, really.
And he's sneaking on up, getting a pre-fire, but unfortunately he's going to get a couple of bullets straight in the face from that long angle by Leb. But Mop is going to trade him straight back for Wayne. But I really thought that Wayne was going to take that first kill. But, you know, Leb just got it from that really long angle. There's a couple of bullet holes, and it's all up to Mop to kind of get in here. He's going to be taken out by the Maestro as well. Exact same hole, exact same strat. You know, these couple of bullet holes are a nuisance.
Yeah, and Mop just came howling around that corner, really powering it hard, and didn't really end up too well for him. There's not much you could do either in a 1v4 situation, so kudos to him. Yeah, interesting. They're finally bringing out the IQ, so that's all right. That's what we want to see. And also the Nomad, Ash, Sophia. So only 1 set of nades. They've gone for that Jaeger band. They're not really abusing it as much as they were previously. So it's interesting to see if they're going to go back to their old strat. They've kind of just abandoned it after 1 round. So whether they, and there's also a bottom defense as well. So I'm not too sure what they're trying to attempt here with that Jaeger band.
Yeah, definitely. With Rhythm still taking all those camera operators and the alibi, switching everything up for them. You know, I think RMA really have to try and swap out maybe a little bit more of their soft destructibility and change it up, just to kind of you know, get a bit more information going on their side. They're definitely not investing as much into it as they can, potentially more just going for that sort of fragging possibility.
Attackers are heading
Yeah, and
out
they're
to
gonna
defuse the
try and frag out really. There's no bandit, there's no other really hard fragging operators. They're going for the utility operators. An alibi, interesting pick. That'll be probably just a comfort pick for Worthy. Just trying to find some free frags off of it, that nice Supremo gun with the interesting utility on it. Fnatic don't mind a good alibi
Bomb
pick, so
located by
maybe he's
attackers.
thinking ahead.
Yeah, but they're definitely going to be having to try and push in as quick as possible. They're not having a really good time managing, or obviously managing their time. 2 minutes 30 on the clock. And, you know, they're just trying to funnel straight into the main objective, pretty much. Not even bothering to do anything. Mob taking out Wayne, but, oh, Bundy taking out Lucifer. Reverse headshot. We see Mop jump over the top and take out Unit. This is a very aggressive strategy. It's definitely not paid off for him in the long run. Is Worthy taking out Mop. Down to a 3 versus 3. They're on the objective, but, you know, can they get the diffuser down? Oh, Leb takes out Bundy's face from that cross angle. This is a really quick round going back to back.
Yeah, Worthy, really good trades from him. Leb, a beautiful shot into Bundy as well. So just good trades coming out from either team. And Leb will get another one for himself, doubling it up. And then we'll have Pun rolling down the cool vibe stairs as well in a 1v3.
Yeah, they've definitely not had a very good time. That Nomad trap didn't... I don't actually think that landed where he wanted it to land. They have a really awkward hitbox. I still think it really needs to be addressed. Outside of that, though, possibly could use this time, use this extra 1 minute and 15 odd seconds to try to utilize their team strategies, bring it all around together, decide what they want to play in the next round. But we do see Thumbnail coming around. He's probably going to find him and close out that round.
Yeah, well played by them. I can see where they were coming from on that rush strat RMA. It was a bit unfortunate the team kill, and it was just the fact that they didn't really have any smokes to back it up and try to get a plant down and cover those crosses because they were in the positions for it, but Bunny just kind of sat there on a head glitch behind the bomb, and I guess they kind of had the support for it. Maybe they just needed some smokes for cover. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, that straight up rush, it was very I don't want to say rank strat, but it did help them out at the start. They did get those first couple frags, but they weren't able to really turn it into anything. Definitely not having any information outside of, look, we've killed the guys on the objective. We don't know anything else about the site now. Not the greatest way to be playing. You probably want to go in there potentially if they had a couple of drones in advance, in the hallways and whatnot, just to maintain everything. They could have got that plant down. It's a good idea. They've got the fragging potential, just poorly executed.
Yeah, it was interesting that that they didn't bring smokes for it, especially on a rush plant like that site. You want something to cover your crosses off so you can get deep into the site and have something to be protected behind. But it just kind of didn't work out. They lost their picks from trades and whatnot. So there's not much you can do about it really.
Yeah, we are going back to go see Kitchen yet again. I am hoping a little bit that RMA brings at least something to the table. They're still, as we've said before, still not really worrying too much about the IQ, but at the same time, they do have the gadgets and destructibility at the end of the day to destroy the, the goon mines, the cameras the Valkyrie's throwing outside, obviously the Maestro cams. But I think this Mozzie's really being detrimental to... and they're not droning enough, and when they are droning, they're just straight up losing those drones.
Yeah, so, and also the combination, I think they attempted to pick a mute. Maybe they 6-picked off it a few rounds ago, but maybe even the extra mute pick would bring in a bit of extra trouble. And Thumbnail, they're just doing these aggressive runouts, and really, they have no answers for them. They're just getting run around.
Well, it looks like they're trying to utilize their droning a little bit more. They're picking up on what they need to do, and they're making their different changes for it. They're going to go for that top-down strategy. It's a very default play, making sure nobody's in bedroom, and then quickly getting in there. Abana not super needed on Kitchen, so she can freely run around and frag out if he wants to, as there's no hatches, and obviously a lot of teams do play with that Kitchen wall down nowadays. But it doesn't really look like outside of Unit and Thumbnail, who's just waiting outside VIP, there's any real roamers.
I don't think Thumbnail's been droned either, so he's in a bit of power position right now. They haven't gone to cool vibes whatsoever, so if he's just going to piece out the hookah, I think he might attempt a hookah run out now. And if he can find one off that Lucifer, he's doing it. He's going for the run out. Will he find Lucifer though? He does. So Thumbnail, really well-timed run out from himself and finds that first pick, which is really nice. And now they're going to be aware of him cool vibe side, and Thumbnail's going to expect someone coming to refrag him, but it doesn't matter. Oh no, he doesn't quite find the kill. No, he puts him down to 1 health, but it doesn't matter. Worthy gets him from behind. They've all just flanked up from bottom stairs, and it's down to a 2v5 already. Just a Hail Mary, no flank watch whatsoever. Pun in an interesting gunfight with Unit. That was, I think that was the power of the Black Ice right there, honestly, bringing him to life. And we're down to a 2-4 now, but that is also with what it looks like a top floor control, or at least the opposite side of top floor coastline control to Rhythm.
Yeah, there was
Attackers recovered the bomb.
interesting play. That one was with the Squagnum. They nearly got. God damn it! Nearly pulled away. Nearly pulled away Wayne, I should say, allowed for taking out Pun, dropping it down to a 1 versus 4 for pull mob. Or whether or not he gets this, can decide whether they're going to stay in the round or not. 22 seconds remaining on the clock. And he really needs to clutch out of his mind. They're just getting into the exact same situations. They're getting picked off bit by bit.
Left.
And I think they need a little bit more information gathering going on. They could definitely be
Drop the bomb to
a team to be reckoned with, but they just need more information coming in.
And just Rhythm just running all over them. Already 4 rounds, and they've been extremely convincing around so far. I think the main problem was then if they didn't open up White Window, if they just had someone sitting on White Window, they had 2 drones go that way, and Units just walked up the top of the stairs. Thumbnails walked up the cool vibe stairs. They're all entering from the one place. They're all entering from that penthouse theater kind of balcony. So if they can have separate entries just to cut off the rotates from up the stairs, just like Rhythm are doing right now, it'll bode well for them. They'll be getting free picks because they're just going to be running up the stairs.
There was actually a really interesting part in that round that happened. I think it was Bundy went to do a cheeky frag down the hole onto Wayne, but he just didn't cook it just enough, and it just dropped on top of him, and Wayne scuttled on out of there. It was going to be a really nice play, but didn't quite hold it long
Protect your
enough.
bombs from being defused by attackers.
Not the first bomb dropped themselves, okay? I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, the exact same. Every single camera op you can hope to, and under the sun, coming out from Rhythm, and just at the end of the day, can you blame them? They're utilizing it really, really well. It's really paying off for them. Obviously, we've already expected that they're going to, I don't want to say run through RMA, but they're definitely going to be favorable against RMA.
And once more, they're bringing in 1 set of
10
nades
seconds
from the
remaining.
Jaeger band. And again, they're not bringing in IQ for the site, which IQ is probably the best for. They have a Pulse, they have a Valkyrie, they have a Mozzie, and they also have a Maestro. So they're kind of confused at these operator picks coming out from RMA again. It looks like they're just trying to go for the frags. I mean, and Coastline is a frag-heavy map, but you also need to wipe utility on a map as well.
Bomb located by
Yeah,
attackers.
doubling up on that. No hard breacher, no Thatcher. As you said, no IQ. It's a very interesting lineup that they've brought on, and unless they've definitely started to learn a little bit more as they have just droned out Worthy, as he's going to get taken out all the way from Sunrise's mob. Doubles down, takes that Thumbnail, going for that frag potential that we were just talking about. Unfortunately, he's going to be quickly taken down by Unit. Unit's going to try and take out further. He's going to get locked down though. Lucifer taking out Unit with that clean headshot. Diffuser going down. This is a really quick play style, ranked style if you will. 1 second till they need the plant down, getting it down. I don't think that Rhythm were ready for that really, really heavy back push. It's all up to Lev pretty much to take it back around. Malt only has that 5 HP. Bullets flying around the map, literally everywhere. And Lev just really needs to jump in and find out who he can. Really awkward time to reload my dude, but you really need 2 frags flying through the walls. Bullets flying out everywhere, and it's not quite enough. He's not going to be able to clutch out their round, and Pun's going to be taking out Lev.
just the rush of the century right there. Everyone's like, screw it, let's run up cool vibes and just try and shoot him. And that's what happened. We saw the line with the shotgun, so I'm thinking it was probably most likely a well thought out. Well, yeah, let's say a well thought out strat. Yeah, it was a well thought out rush. They brought they brought out the correct equipment and they used it well, and good refrags coming out. There was absolutely no utility on the cool vibe stairs either. No lesion mines, no barbed wire, and Worthy got caught out with his pants down. I was gonna say something different, but PG guys. So yeah, well played round. They read into it quite well, RMA, and that nets in the first round as well.
Yeah, I think that Rhythm put a little bit too much trust on whether or not Worthy was going to hold the bottom of Cool Lab stairs or not. We did see the Valkyrie just holding it as best he could, but he had to backpedal so hard after he got that pick onto Bundy. But outside of that, they just lost control of Cool Lab stairs so quickly with the bum rush straight through and up the stairs. I don't think it's going to work a second time, to be perfectly honest, but they've done well to make that work at least once.
Yeah, I think it was just mainly a lack of respect coming out from Rhythm. They didn't expect them to be, their heads down, 0-4 down. They don't expect a rush coming out now, especially on that bomb side. It's not the easiest bomb side to rush. I mean, the only place you can rush on that bomb side is really up cool vibes, and that's what they did, because guess what? They had no utility stacked up onto it. So it was free real estate, really. It's free real estate. Yeah, it is free real estate. That's correct.
Yeah, that was a very, as you said, it was, even though it was a rush, it was well thought out, as you said. They utilized the information that they lost, or that they had on the last round, and really picked up on it. It looks like Sakon's been downed really early into the round for a run out just on the top of Aquarium.
I think it would have been the pixel peak from Wine and Red Bar, which would have got him down. I think that pixel peak came out in the first day of the map, so maybe he hasn't seen it in a while, poor Sagon.
Yeah, the bottom panel of the window is always definitely a pain. As we do see Pun taking a couple crack shots at Unit with the Twitch train dropping his health. Not down that much, but they're playing outside a awful long period of time trying to get this wall open, but there is a mute jammer in the way. Just I think they're waiting on. No, they're just waiting on the line charge.
Oh, that was almost a team kill, and they're going to rush in there, and the Ying balls come off his teammate. It's all gone wrong. Oh, no. Terry's blinded all of his teammates. And now they're all four of them rushing to the same place, and generally, fool them once, shame on them, fool them twice, shame on me, and they're just going to be getting caught up into a massive crossfire from security on the bomb site. Sagan's going to push deep, and Thumbnail's going to find himself another one for the round. And Sagan's just going to run right into his death of Leb holding down security. And once more, it's just a funnel of death through this office security place. I just can't see this ending very well for them, to be honest. The line charge will come out and Doki will be trying to find this first pick on the Leb, but I can't help but think that Leb will have the drop on him, considering he's sprinting around like a naked baboon.
Attackers have recovered their diffuser.
Yeah, definitely. They was a bit of an awkward play. The Ying charge bouncing off the shoulder of the Dokupe, landing in the middle of the room and flashbanging his entire team. Definitely not what you want to be doing. A little bit of pre-fire coming out from Bundy. He knows where a couple people are, but there's too many walls in the way, and he can't quite get the angles that he needs. Lucifer taking some pop shots over at the Alibi clone. That is not a person, my dude. It might turn into one, but I don't think Wayne is going to come back around.
It feels like just a cardboard copy of the other rounds. It's down to a 2v4 or a 1v4, and they're just waiting for picks to come their way. And once more, generally Rhythm have just held their nerve and let it come to them. And it looks like that'll happen again. They're going to have to funnel right through this office door into Aquarium on a very, very tight angle being held from, I think that's Worthy behind the bar. And Bundy down to a 1v4, and Bundy gets taken out by, who was that? Thumbnail, and then Worthy kills Lucifer through the blue door. No, through the holes. So, yeah, well played round by Rhythm. Well, I wouldn't say a well played round by the Rhythm. It was more of a poorly played round by RMA, with Rhythm reading into their take quite well. So that brings it to 1-5 and the switch of attacks and defenses.
Yeah, let's hope that RMA can try to bring around a couple more of those rounds, just so I can get my prediction right. Don't want to flex or anything, but I think they could definitely bring back a couple more of those defense rounds. I don't think it'll be enough to quite win, but I do think they'll be able to, defense may be more their playstyle. You definitely see a lot of teams who flex out definitely a little bit more depending on what side they're on. And at the end of the day, they might be one of those teams that, just comes down to that
Attackers need to locate
slow,
and defuse
methodical
the
play
bomb.
style on defense, or potentially just running out. Like, they've been really aggressive, just going for picks. So potentially on defense, that might be their strat as well, just consistently getting those runouts and, being a little bit, what's the term? Unpredictable.
Yep,
And pretty much unpredictable, yeah. And pretty much just, throwing curveballs at Rhythm. It might work, it might not. We might see Mop actually going out this door. He's going to pop out the lower section and probably crawl out, go for that spawn peek,
10 seconds
and
to
Bundy
insert.
going for the spawn peek on front door.
I think you might be right, Red. I think they're going to carry on their
5 seconds
aggressiveness
remaining.
from attack over the defense, which, when you're 1-5 down, I mean,
Attackers
I
are
guess
heading out to defuse a bomb.
you got to do something, and it looks like they're going to try and do that. They're going to have at least 3 separate spawn peaks going out.
And might pay off them in the long run, as those ally clones do ping a couple members of Rhythm. Also, we've got a lot of cameras outside, as we do see Mop and also Sagon just casually waiting to see where everybody's spawning. Bundy rotating around over to the bedroom, just to try and see if he can get Worthy or not. But he's going to come into kitchen and make his way into the objective side, see if he can get down the hallways.
The only problem with Worthy right now, I can't see anyone really to refrag him. So if he were to be caught out with his pants down, it would not bode too well. They are having a pinch from it. What looks like red bar as well. So well played by them. Then actually, they got 3 different entry points, all solo. So especially with this aggression coming out from RMA, I'm not sure if that's the wisest of choices, because generally they have been staying together. They've been staying together in big packs, and Wayne Man will find the first one onto the Vigil. The Korean operator's trading places, and he's going to get a free camera hack as well. So that's not very good for them. It's a Valkyrie, a Maestro, and probably a bulletproof camera going down towards the attacker's favor. So interesting to see how they use that utility.
Yeah, they've taken control of downstairs pretty well so far. Ooh, we do see a quick run out from Mob, not paying off. But just cleaning his clock completely. Definitely not the ideology you want to be going for there. It's a 3 versus 5 scenario. I'm assuming the Nomad traps are over on the southeast stairs, potentially. And then they've got everything else under control as they play verticality, is where they're taking out Bundy. Followed up by Pun, trading back and taking out is Worthy. Phone calls coming out is now a 1 versus 4. RMA not looking in a good situation. Ooh, pre-fires coming out. Diffusers potentially going on before. We do see Pun taking out a unit. Quickly goes into the next room. Is he able to find anybody in the hookah? He's not going to quite see the guy on the door. And as he rotates right back around, there's too many angles to hold. And he's going to be taken out by Leb on the window. He had a really hard time there. There was one on the window, one on the hookah door, one just outside in the hallway door.
I'm surprised he made it that far, to be honest. It's funny because it looks like Read My Aggression's aggression has been well and truly read into here, funnily enough. So Rhythm, they've read the book. Maybe it was Sun Tzu's Art of War. Maybe it was Pun's Read My Aggression. I don't know what it was, but they're 6-1 up right now, going on to match point.
Yeah, they really need to bring this one around. They've still got the full defense ahead of them, but they're pretty much at that clutch point. If they lose any rounds from here, we're going to be going straight on to map 2 at the end of the day. And, even though they're not in a good points position for this series, they only have 2 points at the moment. I'm pretty sure those are due to draws rather than wins. I'm pretty sure they don't actually have any wins at the moment.
Generally, 2 points would equal 2 draws, because
Yep.
win equals 3 points. So,
3 points, yep.
That's solid logic.
I was going to say big brain plays, big brain plays. But outside of that, I would like to see them, bring a little bit more to the table. They definitely have the right sort of team play going on. It's just team coordination and getting it together at the end of the day. Definitely with those couple of awkward frags and the Ying charges. Oh no!
And they broke their own barbed wire. Oh man, it just keeps going downhill, isn't it? Are they doing a 3-man run out right now?
Oh, maybe
What am I seeing? I think
Locate a bomb.
they've had enough.
yeah,
Defender has
they've
left the
just
area of
yeah.
operation.
Why not just send
Defender
it?
is
And he's pre-fired the bushes. I think he's just given the palm trees a nice trimming. I'm not sure if they really needed it, but they're well kept in Ibiza from what I hear. That it didn't really net anything, and it's still 5v5.
Well, they put the pressure onto Rhythm, who are still just casually sitting around in the ruins area and spawn points. They're definitely aware now that those runouts potentially going to happen, and Read My Aggression have very much been aggressive. But they haven't really pushed in too much. There's still 2:16 left on the clock. And, you know, they've got a little bit all the time in the world, potentially going for the exact same play they did last time.
They're very much going for solo play aggressions on their defense, though. Unlike on their attack in the one round, they won. That was the one round where they trade each other. So if maybe they need to do that. They need to be considering doing that on defense as well, because it's all just been solo jump outs for them so far. So they definitely have to change something up.
Yeah, we did see Sagon and I think Mop was playing Vigil in one of the earlier rounds, and they were playing together for a run out. This might be a cheeky frag by Unit.
Oh, that's looking pretty good as well.
Oh,
yes.
get him!
You won't know that though. There'll be no information on it. You might have heard a scream, and there is a dock in place. So if you can get him up through a little peak, he will. So that's still a dock wasted and 25 health off Bundy. Not the worst of circumstances, but not bad.
Well, I was gonna say, as we do see, Bundy's taken off the board by Wayne. But Wayne gets tagged all the way down to about 10 hit points, but they are still in a very favorable position. They just have to get into the building. They're still mostly sitting around outside, just trying to clean up the objectives as they make their final push.
I'd love to see a nade go up into vase from blue right now. That'd be bellissimo. That'd get a double kill. So he needs to just cook that thing right up there and get a nice bit of passes up. They're just holding these cross angles though. If they can work this plan, they're in a very good position for it. I mean, they've isolated everyone over to the hookah side from the looks of it. There might be one in pink, but that shouldn't last very long. They haven't even cleared out Aqua yet either, so it looks like they've kind of just been stalled out by the aggression. Wayman's going to find another one onto the dock, but he's going to get traded back out down, and he'll be down to a 3v4. Mop going to get to Aqua now, it looks like. Yeah, he can't find anyone though. He's going to attempt it again. And he's going to find no one. Oh, poor man. He'll be down to a 1v3. Just Bundy by himself. Pun by himself. Finds the first one. Can he find the second? He can't find the second one. Whiffs it all, and that'll be the map. I was a little bit worried there for a second by Rhythm. If they hadn't got so aggressive, that was like there was 40 seconds left in the round. Like why are they getting so aggressive when it's even numbers? Whatever. 1-7. Rhythm won the map.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we kind of expected it would kind of go like this, but I wasn't expecting it to be this
I wasn't
hard.
either.
Yeah, a little bit of awkwardness towards the end there. We do have the score screen coming to you guys live right now. Oh, mate.
Yeah.
Are you ready for a second map of that?
Well, hopefully it's not on coastline again, because it'd be interesting to see what the second map will be, to be honest. So if we can work to maybe a bigger map where RMA's style might be more favorable towards them, even though I would imagine a smaller map would be more favorable towards them. Who knows?
And we'll just have to wait and see. We are going to go to a short break, but I hope you all stick around and we won't be too long. But until then, see you afterwards.
I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire.
And welcome back to the season 10 Challenger League coming to you live from Australia. We're currently having a match between Rhythm and Read My Aggression. They just cleared up their first match. Rhythm taking it by storm at the end of the day. They went 7-1. It wasn't very favorable for RMA. But outside of that, how are you doing, Sprucey? How was the break for you, mate?
Yeah, no comment. After watching that, I'm a little bit shook. I won't lie. It was. I might need to go read a book. I don't know. Get those brain cells back. Anyway.
That's all good. Yeah, we're just waiting for these vetoes to come through yet again. I'm kind of leaning towards. Let me just quickly check over my notes. For a second map, I'm leading Border. To be perfectly honest, it would probably be a bit more in RMA's playstyle. I think they've got a better chance of playing on that one, based off what the bands have gone through last time.
Yeah, look, I don't know what to expect with it. From the looks of RMA, they've been going crazy. So maybe their map picks will be scattered as well. Rhythm, they're probably going to go try. I reckon they'll try and go towards a bigger map, maybe something more traditional like Bank, or maybe they're trying to save VODs. Who knows? So I can't tell really.
Ooh, Border being taken off the map. And we're going straight back to Coastline, ladies and gentlemen.
Man,
It was already the first time we see Coastline, and we get to see it again.
yeah. I thought we weren't going back to Ibiza, to be honest. I didn't think we were going to go back to Ibiza, but here we are.
Completely out of the norm, and definitely wasn't seeing it. As I said before, Rhythm has actually banned Coastline every time they've played, and yet we're seeing a double up all of a sudden. They are going to be a switch up. This time, Rhythm will be playing on attack in comparison to them starting on defense. And obviously, the bans might be switched up a little bit to maybe compensate and maybe give a bit more leverage to RMA. We're just waiting for the last couple of players to file into the lobby. Are you going for that exact same caster curse of?
I'm gonna say 7-0. Maybe okay, 7-1. Yeah, okay.
I'll leave with you. 7-1. 7-1. All right, we're swapping over, getting into the ban phase right away. Gonna be really interesting if they can pull away from that 7-1 curse. And
yeah,
first,
I want to see some. I want to see something different in their attacks at the very least, instead of just 4 people running into the same place. So, oh well.
Yeah, there's not awkward bans. There's awkward attacks. Definitely not helping out. The Buck Bundy is going to be so sad.
And unit,
yeah. Their main's being taken off the block. Yeah, definitely going to stop a bit more verticality and take some frags off the board. But Jackal being banned again, exact same thing we saw last time. Whether or not Jaeger gets banned, that's going to be probably one of the big things. We saw a couple of the frags being utilized super heavy in comparison, just because Jaeger was obviously off the board. They tried to play a more frag heavy team lineup.
The only frag I saw was from unit through a floor, so an ADS really wouldn't have stopped that anyway, to be honest.
No, they tried to use them, but they just didn't get any picks with them. Mira going down, exact same as last time. The only thing different we're seeing is the Buck, as that last ban is just about to come on through.
Surely not Jaeger.
Valkyrie.
Interesting.
I mean, that's definitely going to slow down that information game, and Rhythm heavy centric on obviously the information game. It was like nearly every single defense round that they played, they had 4 operators that were cam ops. They had Pulse. They had Maestro and Mozzie.
Maestro, Valkyrie, Mozzie. Yeah. Yep.
I just had an absolute mind blank there.
No, you're right. We're going back to the trap meta as well, it seems, with those picks.
No.
We're going back a couple seasons now, if you guys can remember that. Oh, and they didn't really want to dedicate to it, though. I'm a little bit disappointed. I wanted to see... And he goes to the 6-pick back. That's big brain. That's huge brain. He just doesn't care, Lucifer. He doesn't care, man. That is a huge... I'm surprised he can fit his brain in his ears, that man, Lucifer. So that'll be the 4 trap operators and Alibi, who might be a trap as well, were undersigned.
Are you talking about Alibi's gender, or are you just talking about...
We are definitely talking about her ability. Come on now, man. Professionality here. Professionality.
Yeah, I understand. Either way, I would classify Alibi as a trap operator. Definitely slows down the pushes and whatnot, and can definitely mix up the gameplay at the end of the day. They're definitely going for these runouts that they have done every single other time. I wonder. I really thought Bunny might have put it on the other side. And I was like, that's a very interesting Capcan trap. I don't think it's going to catch anyone, but.
Yeah, well, you never think any Capcan trap's going to catch anybody until it happens. So, same with the Frost map. So, I can see, going back to the bans, I can tell why they brought that Valkyrie off. It seemed to be a bit of a bane in their backside as they weren't bringing an IQ, and it just seems that they can't be bothered bringing an IQ RMA, so maybe that's why they've just decided to get rid of it. That's the only thing I can speculate on, really.
They might just not have a support player who wants to dedicate time into it.
I wouldn't exactly classify IQ as a support operator, though, would you?
Fragger, bit support, bit of everything.
Yeah, kind of a flex operator. I mean, they've dedicated to the Ashe and Zofia pretty hard last time, but eh.
All comes down to what they want to play at the end of the day, as we do see 2 minutes 10 left on the clock. They're slowly making their way in. Very, very slow push onto Kitchen. Whether or not they're going to play this top down, it looks like they're going for that straight angle play. The kitchen wall is open but not destroyed. Interesting play. Obviously, you can shoot it from through onto the terrace. One Capcan trap finding the legs of Thumbnail as he skirtles on upstairs to get that Nomad trap down to prevent the flanks and whatnot. But yeah, those traps are already paying off, technically. 1 for 1.
Yeah, first blood, and there's still only a minute 38 left, and they've only taken red bar. Unit's going to rotate out to the kitchen window, though, see if you can find some extra ground for him. Find someone off on the rotate.
Yeah, they still got the frags on the board, obviously, because they didn't take Jaeger. Obviously, because they're just going for those straight trap operator picks. Whether or not this Ella might actually jump outside and jump over the railing might be the play by Sagon at the end of the day.
No, he does have a hole above, so he doesn't really need to force anything. So they're well set up here. They're not playing that aggressive plays anymore, so that's basically going to deny the plan. They don't have anyone up there trying to take that ground, so this might work well in the RMA favor.
Yeah, Rhythm is really slowed down on this. I don't know whether they're, respecting RMA or whether or not they just can't figure out where to find any picks. Pun taking out is worthy for the first kill of the round, straight over into that Pool Labs hallway. Wayne just walks on in. He's going for the defuse straight away. He doesn't care. 35 seconds roughly left on the clock. From Mop from Melter taking out Lev, followed by a Thumbnail taking out Pun. Wayne back onto Bundy. 3 versus 3. Huge. Diffuser going down. Thumbnail getting shot in 2 different directions, but he's able to find it. Lucifer going down. Followed up by Thumbnail being traded straight back. It is 1 versus 2. Unit really needs to defend this Diffuser. He's got the long angle to do it with. And it does look like RMA are just going to have to wait out to see whether or not Mop can get Sagon back into a position where they can do something about it. A lot of pre-fire coming out, but Mop just doesn't have the health pool to do anything about it. Unit getting tagged. Counter diffuse coming down. 5 seconds left on the clock, and he's taken down. That is the first round going to RMA.
Yeah, that was very much coachable from you. I mean, he whiffed his bullets at least twice onto that Alibi who was on 1 health. So just thinking, if he had have whiffed those bullets, I can't imagine how that round would have ended differently. And it was well brought back by Rhythm in the end, considering they lost the first 2 picks. So, yeah, a bit of a nail biter. And RMA have definitely changed up their playstyle. They went full trap and they played the time and they slowed it down. So, well played to them.
Yeah, they were able to pick up that first one. Hopefully, they don't lose the next 7. To go for the exact same score. If they play the exact same way they did just then, outside obviously Unit whiffing a whole bunch of bullets onto the Alibi who only had a couple of ticks of health, they played it really, really well. They slowed down the pace of the game, and they
need to locate and
I don't even know if this is the same team that we saw in the last game like 10 minutes ago.
Oh, well, they have gone back to the double ACOG setup. This is more of a generic setup, though. I mean, they have the Jaeger, and that seems to be it's generally Sagon's favorite operator. They've given it off to Mop. Mop, the Zofia Jaeger main, taking a note out of his brother's textbook. Hopefully, he doesn't take any other notes out though.
Yeah, definitely picking up probably a stronger gun-wise operator than what he's been playing. He has been fragging pretty well over the course of both games. Whether or not he can keep this momentum rolling is another thing. Probably give him a you know, a decent amount of you know, what's the word? I can't think of what it is now off the top of my head. Just keeping the momentum going at the end of the day, having a good time, giving the confidence. Yeah, that's a good one for it. Yeah, having the confidence going forward and
the morale. Maybe was that what you're going for? Morale? Maybe I don't know.
Morale.
I'm a bit of a wordsmith. Reddit don't have flexing. I have a low IQ, but you know.
Can you throw me like the book you find this in?
No, I don't have a thesaurus on me right now. It's called a thesaurus, actually. Red.
Oh.
That is correct. I finished my high school education, everybody. I'm not flexing at all.
Jesus Christ. We do see Thumbnail taking a significant amount of damage as he makes his way towards the building. A lot of free fire coming out from left onto the aquarium. But Mop's just casually waiting for him. This is, yet again, completely different playstyle. Usually they would have just gone, there's a man up there. Mop would be out on the aqua balcony right now running at the man. Yeah, it's nice to see the change up of style, and it's the fact that they're on the back foot right now, Rhythm. They're kind of, looks like they're kind of shook. They're once more, they're not with each other. They're not stacked up on each other for refrag. So if they can find these kills, but it looks like Pun in the worst engagement possible. Unit whiffing his shots onto the smoky solitary, but he's just going to get an easy pick onto him. Gets taken out by Thumbnail again from the crossfire from the Billiards double. So that was an interesting crossfire. And that's the smoke player, probably the most important player on this site, while smoke can still put through walls. I'm actually surprised how did he get clipped up from the double? He must have walked forward. Yeah, or his foot must have just shown a little bit possibly when his prone, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, it would have been his foot coming out. And Thunder finds another one from there, also on 20 health with a hollow. So this isn't the exactly greatest power position to be in, and they're just finding these kills out of nowhere. Worthy flies one, Buddy flies two though. Thumbnail unit going down. That was the two VIP angle holders. So Bundy going huge. Looks like Leb just tried to sneak into somebody's backed out, and he's done the old 360 onto Bundy. Takes him down, leaves it to a 3v1. Just on the mute by himself. Tries to find the first one, can't find it. Gets the Zofia down to half health. He thinks someone's on cool vibes. Supposed to know. He has the pings coming out, so he knows at least one's an aqua. Doesn't know about this long hallway. Takes the shots down onto the, would have been the Capital. Tags Capital only a little bit, so still a fair bit of uphill battle to go. Finds another one onto Worthy. So now 2v1. Now it's getting a little bit spicier. That's a little bit more interesting. Sagan peeks around, tries to find that other player into Aqua. Constant peeks coming out. This is a good idea. Sagan pushing up. Can he find it? And he gets peeked whilst he just gets off that angle. That was an unfortunate time for Sagan. And that'll be 1-1 towards... No. Yeah, 1-1. 1-1 on that preferred side of, I'd say, Sagan's team, RMA. Yeah, it really looked like it was going to, you know, lead a bit more towards RMA. Unfortunately, it just kind of backpedaled all of a sudden. They were doing really, really well, and then it kind of just clipped around. Yeah, well, Sagan, it was just a bit of a rock and a hard place. I don't know why the smoke was in... Aqua so early. It was a bit interesting to see him playing such an aggressive angle without an ACOG in a spot where you really probably do need an ACOG. Looking out of that Aqua balcony and out into the and the luggage. So in the luggage, yeah, poorly played placement. I apologize. Poor strats coming out from Eddie. Placement there. Yeah, the definitely not an angle you want to be holding onto luggage with an SMG-11. Even if you can control that recoil, if you're not hitting that first bullet, you ain't hitting anything. Unfortunate that he did get clipped up by that double window. Just, as you said, poor choices all around. I think they could potentially like rotate him out somewhere else. Maybe have had the Jaeger there instead. That might have been the better play to have at the end of the day, and then rotate them back out with smoke later on. 10 seconds remaining. Outside of that, coming from Rhythm, they had a really good push. The only downside was that once they actually took control of Aquarium, they still had the diffuser on the opposite side of the map. Whether or not they were obviously going to plant behind the A-bomb or just plant at the back of Hookah. But, you know, since they had such an aggressive push onto Aquarium and Billiards, you would have thought, you know, they'd go for the default. Yeah, I guess they
They lost their smoke operator. I thought it was interesting that their Capital was left at 90. Probably not the greatest place to go for a plant. Maybe they thought he had nitro left, which would have devastated their planting opportunities. But regardless, they got the round somehow, and it was in a pretty convincing deficit. It was almost a 3v1. It did get down to a 2v1 nonetheless, though.
Whether or not they can bring it back around again, they've slowed down on those trap operators. Interesting choice, seeing as it actually netted them their first win. But, you know, they're bringing in a couple extras. They're bringing in the information gathering ops. Obviously, they got the Maestro, they got the Mozzie. Whether they can make those actually work or not is another thing. But Unit takes out Moth so early into the round. And he's not early into the round, sorry. We're a minute in. I've just been mumbling off to myself. Punt takes out Worthy. All of a sudden, 4-4 back on board.
Yeah, and Unit's just holding that angle, waiting for Punt to come out. Oh, that's a beautiful pre-fire. He gets the nade in their unit. And another kill off that as well. Sagon finds one of the lebs. So now it's a 2v4. I'm surprised that Unit didn't try to follow up that kill. And Unit goes down as well, down to a 1v4. Lucifer is hunting for that kill. Wayman trying to find one for the floor. He's trapped in office though. And it's looking like an RMA round unless Wayman can pull out a Nello style clutch.
He's got a lot to put on his shoulders at the moment. That was actually really surprising that it came around that way. I guess Rhythm just not respecting, at the end of the day, the playstyle change and probably playing the exact same way they were before, going in and potentially just getting picked off one by one, as we've been seeing before, as they do enter in one at a time. And, you know, they don't have any backup. You know, you get shot, what are you going to do?
It was more the fact that that Unit didn't really use his utility well. Like, Pun was completely trapped in there. There was no way he should have got at least one kill. And Unit's sledge as well. He could have just legit just went and sledged the checker's wall and walked in and shot the guy. He could have sledged the wall and naded him. But instead, he just chose to hold an angle and let Worthy die. So I'd say that kind of was down to Unit and Worthy partly not using their utility very well.
Oh, well, he's still got 30 seconds left on the clock. A couple of members of RMA are kind of tagged in, but, you know, he still needs to make something happen as he's going to rotate into Aquarium and try to get any of the picks that he can, really. Oh, you do see Sagon just casually standing on the pool table. And, it's going to clip him straight in the head with the SMG 11, rounding out their second round for RMA.
Yeah, Wayman couldn't find one. Poor man. What's important is that he tried. And Sagon takes the head clean off of Wayman to finish off that round, and that'll make 2-1 to Rhythm. To RMA, sorry, not Rhythm. So we will see them going to the kitchen service center site. Probably one of the service entrance, sorry. Probably one of the more default bomb sites nowadays. Hookah used to be the main one, but now it seems to have defaulted back to kitchen. And we're seeing a bit more trap meta coming out. The Frost and the Legion. It'll be interesting to see if we keep that Frost in play, though.
Yeah, doubling up on that. They've still got the cap can, bringing that one out. It worked from last time. If they can make it work a second time, you know, as you said, fool me once, but at the end of the day, traps can be put pretty much anywhere outside of cap can traps.
It was more the fact, the way that I don't think it was the traps which helped them last time. It was more the way they played the site and more the way Rhythm attempted to attack the site. Albeit it should have been a reasonably easily clutch for Unit. It was more the fact that they didn't bother clearing out the player above, which kind of left them at a deficit, and the ability to not plant in that kitchen doorway. So if this round plays out this round plays out the same way, I'll be very interested.
Yeah, definitely a couple of those whiffs from Unit definitely didn't help them in that last time they played here for Rhythm. But outside of that, potentially they get a bit of a quicker push going on. They can make something happen and not get reverse sweeped. Or not reverse sweeped. Or no, technically from the other map it would be reverse sweep.
Don't look too into it too much.
But yeah, they're getting interesting allotment for your drones over in this corner by the bathroom. Going straight upstairs. Obviously, you want to play top down. Good idea that they have brought the IQ yet again. Obviously, heavy trap operators, and on top of that, the Jaeger, the mute. This is a good system going on. Sagon trying to hold upstairs. Oh, the dirty peek coming straight underneath the hatch. This is incredibly bold. If you can make it work, like absolutely beautiful, but it's risk reward just through the roof. As Unit is holding that cross angle, he's kind of stuck now in the bathroom.
And that was Sagon's nitro use as well, so they should know he's in there, I think? Maybe? No, I don't think they know he's in there. He's just been left undroned from the looks of it. The nitro came out, there we go, the drone finds him now, Unit knows he's in there. He's stuck in a rock and a hard place, and he's going to get punished for it, unless you can find a kill before they pushed up into the corner. And that's the pinch we're looking for. Sagon is putting himself in a very bad position. He needed to get that kill with a nitro to at least free some pressure off himself, but he couldn't find that, so down to a 5-4 with little health taken off the attacking side.
They did play the top popped out a little bit. Mop is under a lot of fire at the moment as they're pushing onto him through penthouse. He's going to be taken out by Worthy. I think the only way he was potentially getting out of there is if someone ran out the front door to contest Unit on the window to get him out.
I think that might have been nomaded as well. So I'm pretty sure they would nomad at the start of the round. So there's probably no real options. He had to get that pressure off. But he gets 2 with that nitro. Whew. Go on, Huge. It's still a 3v1 nonetheless. So he's gonna have to ace it to finish this round up. You're low, not full health. So, but the opposing attackers are very much full health as well, basically, except for Thumbnail. So he's going to try and get aggressive on this flank. Ride his luck, and it looks like they're just trying to find out where he is. And backing up towards a good idea, in my opinion.
Yeah, hiding in one of those areas where they weren't expected. Drone just narrowly skipped past him. I don't think it quite saw him as it went around the corner, and they just droned out the terrace area. As we still do have Thumbnail holding off over by the luggage, jumping down into the terrace area. And as you said, they're still trying to find out where everyone is. The diffuser's going down. And I think they're just going to go for the vertical play.
Yeah, power to him. That's really well played. They know he's not on site, so why not just plant the damn thing? And now Bunny's left in a 1v3 retake situation. He still thinks someone's on cool vibes. There is no one near there. I'm sorry to tell you.
The man can dream as he makes his way around. He's looking onto the courtyard, but is not able to find Thumbnail, who's there lying in wait for him. Takes him out very, very easy. That was a not so good angle for him. It was very hard to see as he came around, obviously back up onto Thumbnail. But I guess that's just a good use of how obviously perspective works in the game. Overall, good position.
Yeah, I think what kind of went wrong there is the 2 roamers upstairs died. I mean, sure, they did get, what, a minute 40 off the clock, but even then, 3v5 with a minute 20 off the clock, a minute 20 left on the clock, that still leaves you plenty of time to work a plant, especially when your on-site players died as well. So, yeah, maybe they just need to be playing for plant more and less for kills on these aggressive sites or in these aggressive roams. Sayon probably could have just backed off there. Same with Mop. He didn't really need to. Once Sayon died, he could have just backed off.
Yeah, it looks like RMA definitely knows how the strategy is meant to play out, but potentially not why the strat plays out that way. Like, you play 2 people upstairs to slow it down and slow that destructibility, but if you die in the process, it's all for moot at the end of the day.
Yeah, and with the little time wasted as well, it's sure if you bring down 30 seconds, hell, that's good, but you still got a minute 20 left on the clock. You still got plenty of time to work. So,
10 seconds left before
yeah, on top of that, Sagon getting caught into the bathroom and giving up records at the end of the day. We did see Mob holding, obviously, from theater, but outside of that, anyone could have come in through VIP, they could have come in from hookah, aquarium. There was so much of upstairs that they just didn't have control of, even though they were trying to contest those upstairs rooms. They just weren't branching out. They were stuck pretty much in the penthouse area.
And that was the difference between the 2 defenses. We saw last match Rhythm doing basically the exact same thing, but we saw Unit and Worthy flank up either White stairs and Cool Vibe stairs. So that's just really the stark difference between teams' coordination.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, bringing it to 2-2, and Bunny's going to get taken off really, really early. That's 1 ACOG off for them, so they're only going to have Pun with the other one. It's not the worst thing at the end of the day, but holding those really long angles could be a, life or death situation at the end of the day, depending on whether or not you have a magnifying glass sitting in front of your screen.
It does help. It does help. And Lucifer's playing with the whole team. Am I seeing this trick? No, it's the penthouse bomb side. Sorry, my silhouettes were messing with my mind. There's still 3 on site that are all stuck. So that means it's quite easy to work a plan from this point, to be honest. All they need to do is they can smoke the cross and just jump in. Pretty easy like that, and they don't really need to get the utility off the side. The one is in bathroom, though. They did get the mice drop, and there we go, Sayon. He always seems to end up in the bathroom somehow, I'm not too sure. He gets taken down. Lucifer trades off onto Leb, the IQ, so pretty even man count, but health not the same. And Lucifer's also putting himself into the bathroom. What is with these people and going into the damn bathroom? Why do they like the bathroom so much? It seems to be a death trap for them. They're getting blinded as hell, and that'll be a free double if he can find the second one for Worthy. He's very scared. He sees the blood on the ground. They still haven't managed to finish him yet. I'm not sure. Chuck a drone down there, Worthy, please. God, they don't know. He's right in the middle of the... He got there eventually. 4v2, health advantage definitely towards Rhythm, and now the man advantage is definitely towards Rhythm as well. And it'll be down to a 4v1. If Malt can clutch this, that'll be some god tier plays, but it looks like the plant will go down pretty safe, and this cross being held from the window will make it very hard and the plant goes down.
Yeah, it was very interesting coming out from as Rhythm takes hold of that round. But yeah, they yet again funneled everybody into the bathroom. It's just a death pit in there. You gotta realize at the end of the day, if Sagon just wants to go to the bathroom, just let him go.
That's something. It's something you expect from like gold players, just to run into the bathroom. It's kind of a bit disappointing that they're all just trying to. Did Lucifer go for a revive? Is that why he went into the bathroom as well?
Yeah. The Clash ran in there, I assume, for that
just
reason,
to do it backwards? Like, he probably could have stuck it. I mean, the amount of time he was in there, he probably could have stuck it. But nonetheless, why? What's the point? You're going to die there. So, yeah, as someone pointed out to me, he clearly didn't have his hall pass to go to the bathroom. So the teachers promptly let him out.
Gave him a little bit of a spanking as both of them got taken down very, very easily. As yeah, I was expecting the Clash to play it away further back, seeing as the Capitan was on the window, and then he kind of just willy-nilly'd all the way up and walked into the bathroom as well.
Let's just forget about that. Let's just forget about that. Let's just
clean slate. Yeah.
Clean slate. We'll give you this one. Okay, they're bringing Caviera. Okay. We'll stay with the clean slate. It's all right. We'll stay with that. She's gonna bring a bulletproof camera. At least she's being a team player. You know, that's important.
He's doing the thing. He's doing it.
Yeah. If Lucifer, if he can get an interrogation, especially on a map like this, there's a lot of vertical play. Maybe it will work out. So who knows? Maybe he's got the bigger brain than us casters.
I was gonna say, they've gone. All right, we need more intel operators. Valkyrie's off the board. What do? And you know what? Caviera reveals everybody.
I mean, you only have to find them first. You only have to find them first, and you'll interrogate them. But apart from that, it does reveal them for 10 seconds. It's like a line, but more stronger. So, more overpowered almost. Yeah. So, it'd be interesting to see.
Don't want to go back to those days.
No, it's alright. None of us do. So yeah, if we can find this interrogation, I mean, the rest of the operator picks are pretty standard. So maybe they can try and play off of it.
Potentially, definitely going to give, I don't say a run for their money, but it's, expect the unexpected sort of thing from RMA at the moment. They're kind of every single time they've played for this map, at least, well, obviously this map because we played it twice, but in these couple of rounds, they've definitely just completely changed up their playstyle. It's like every single time we see them again, they've gone, all right, that didn't work. Let's play this completely different thing. And just, heaps of different curveballs. And some of them are definitely sticking, but at the end of the day, it's not enough to bring it home. And obviously, you can't just go into Challenger League and go, hey guys, I got this crazy idea. We've not tried it before.
Yeah, it's not like that you think they're scrimming like this. So what's the point of scrimming a certain way then? But it doesn't matter when mobs just taking heads off. Really, I think that's what they've been hoping. They've been trying to put it all down to individual skill, and individual skill can only take you so far, as we've seen in the other rounds and maps so far. So if Mob can just continue his killing spree, it'll work out well for him. And it looks like it will continue on. Lucifer finding one. He didn't go for the interrogation. That's a little bit disappointing, not gonna lie, because that would have been the nail in the coffin, I'd like to say.
They've done well so far, regardless of their picks. taking off 3 members of Rhythm. We do see Lucifer trying to hide himself over in the security room as he's waiting to see if anybody's going to come down and contest him. More than likely not, because you don't want to be chasing Cav, obviously. Wayne and obviously Isway is currently just pushing up from different directions. One's in luggage, one's in VIP, and we do see the crossfires coming down. Is Worthy taking out Mop from behind. He's looking the wrong way. Bundy also going down, but is Worthy getting cleaned up. And Lucifer actually taking out 2 people overall in that round. So even though not the best pick in the world, you know, he made it happen.
He made it work. Yeah, he made it work. And I think regardless of what operator he was using it, I think it would have probably worked considering the guys weren't looking at him.
No. It's sneaky.
Okay, it was caveat. My bad. But I think the main problem with, I've pointed out on most of their attacks, is they've been entering solo a lot of the time. Like, we've seen every single one of those deaths was a solo death. You had the IQ on the balcony by herself. We had the Sledge downstairs by himself in office. We had Thumbnail dying. Well, he shouldn't really be dying on that double window, but he was still, regardless, by himself and in a non-tradable position. And that's something which really hasn't been, you know, picked up upon by RMA. It's just been a lot of solo play. It is coordinated solo play nonetheless, but there's a lot of solo play coming out from Rhythm.
Yeah, I think that just comes back down to, again, you know, that whole team respect sort of thing. At the end of the day, they're still doing the whole individuality, sort of pushing in and they do take control of a lot of the map really quickly. The downside is if any of them get picked, they don't get a refrag from.
Yeah, that's the first time we've seen RMA actually capitalize on it, really. In that round, the other rounds, there's just been aggression from off of the site with each other, but that's the first time that they've really capitalized on that individual take, which Rhythm do on that bomb site.
Potentially that was what they were going for with Caviar at the end of the day, is that, you know, because they are playing like this, you know, you have a much higher chance of singling somebody out. And as you said, even though he didn't get that interrogation down, which would have been, you know, mind-boggling, you know, he still snuck up on 2 people.
Yeah, well, regardless, so generally there should be a camera on that security flank, so maybe someone wasn't on that camera, or maybe there wasn't a camera there. It was more likely down to Rhythm's lack, and there we go, the aggression is continuing on. Hey, you open up that barricade, I'm going to shoot you back, dude. Don't touch my barricades, you got it? And
yeah, very bold.
Thumbnail could have just stolen that drone, but instead he puts it sends it 6 feet under. I'm not sure if there's a drone hell, but that drone definitely got sent there instead of getting sent to Mozzie Limbo, which I'm a little bit disappointed.
Oh, well, utilizing a gadget isn't always the thing. He also has 2 good guns, which makes him a really good roamer, and slowing down that intel game is very useful at the end of the day. Bundy's sneaking on in, but, you know, I don't know if he's going to be able to make anything out of this on luggage, as nobody's currently sitting over there waiting to see if anything's happening. Everyone's facing the wrong way.
Yeah, this is a surely they know he's there. Maybe I'm not too sure. He was on the default camera. He's going to be looking. Bundy got walls. Did he just look at that guy? Yeah. Did I just see that? Bundy, what are you've been hiding something from us? He's just going to walk on the side. He's going to pre-fire onto the player from Pink Bar. Wayman's going to go for a wide pick. He's definitely going to lose the health from that. And he's going to try and fetch that grenade up. Didn't go too well for him. And Thumbnail downstairs. He's trying to see if this Ash jumps in behind that Aqua Bar and he can get a free pick, which I'm not too sure. And Bundy's just solo right now. So if they were to aggress onto him, it would not be a tradable player whatsoever. And Unit takes out Lucifer the Black here. I imagine that was probably on a window. But Bundy's just tagging up people down to 20 health consistently. Well played by Bundy so far on that solo attack. He's done his job. He's got the distraction. He just needs the other players on his team to back him up.
Yeah, I think they're trying to get everybody a bit wider out, and it does look like Bundy's going to try and get in and close out, and he kills. He's doing the same thing again. He's just looking at people through the wall. He gets it down straight onto Wayman, sorry. Wayman.
He's going to get shot in the back. And there goes Bundy off the one player who tags out. And then it's down again. He forgets that Thumbnail's behind the bar. Thumbnail cleans up Mop, and Unit gets punned. And almost a flawless round, very close to it. It got a little bit dicey there. I mean, Bundy could have, if he had to finish those kills, it would have been a little bit more interesting. But yeah, just a lot of solo players, and Bundy was doing his job very well there, but just no one really played off of him very well in the fact that he was distracting at least 2 or 3 players then.
Yeah, got the push on that they needed in the aquarium. They just didn't have quite the presence in VIP to get the cross to get like the angles that they required. No hard breaches meant obviously they couldn't get any of those walls open to get a better sight line. Just coming down to poor communication probably at the end of the day. Interesting to see this.
Should have sucked the fuse.
Blitz.
Should have sucked the fuse. But Blitz is all right. I mean, I'm a former Blitz man myself. You know, I'm a connoisseur
yes.
of fine shields, if I
fine
might say
arts.
so.
Yes.
So be interesting to see where they play this. If he just pushes right into aquarium,
Defenders
like
protecting
Coastline is a
the
good
bombs
map.
and
If you
keep
play
the
that
site
Blitz with someone else, it can be a deadly operator. So be interesting to see where they utilize it.
Well, as long as he doesn't get taken out like the what was it again? Nomad got taken out at the start of the first round. Not Nomad. No, thank you. It's an N operator.
Sorry, I'm not Danish or whatever she's from.
Yeah.
Australis and G2.
But as long as he doesn't get taken out at the literal start of the round, like last round, you know, I think they've got a chance. We're 4-3. I just need you know, Rhythm to take home the rest of the rounds potentially, so we can get this.
I thought you said 7-2. You telling Porky?
Oh, sorry. I'll give the you called 7-3. I called 7.
This was last map though. I called 7-1 this map, so I'm already screwed. Don't worry about me. I'm already gone. I reckon we might see a service entrance rush here. The way they're setting up for it, they haven't got really anyone else at the other side of the map. They got one person aquarium, but everyone else is outside the front door. So if they can just get a drone, there's no mute. There might be a Mozzie. No, it looks like it's just 2 men and as well. I'm not sure what this take is going to be. They're not really going anywhere else apart from outside the front door, and Unit finds a first kill off the cheeky angle through the top of the barricade. Someone's been watching their coconut, brah. Must be a big fan. Finds a first kill onto the sledge, a very not so important operator right now, and Thumbnail finds one under pump, and he gets taken out. He does take half health off of Mop in the process as well, so not altogether terrible for the defense, I'd say.
Now they've done well to clean up the sledge and the twitch. That's pretty much going to be taking out a lot of the potential to like take out anyone who's in those tight neck angles. I don't think they can really go for that smoke plant anymore, like they potentially might have wanted to, just in the service entrance door.
It looks like they called a rush and the team just didn't dedicate to it. I want to speculate that's what it is because they have everyone there. It's just no one dedicated to it. Everyone was too spread out. Maybe it was trying to be maybe it was a bait. I'm not too sure what they were trying to play out.
Yeah, the Blitz was kind of just dancing around for a little bit too long. He probably could have utilized if he was just going to stand outside. Oh, damn.
Yeah, that's a death trap. That's one thing I've learned. Running into main lobby as a Blitz on Coastline is a death trap and a half. So.
Yeah, getting taken out. Wayne, man, taking out Bundy, and now it's all literally just up to Mop to try and like recover from this. And he's just going to go straight back to the door that they started at the original round. Lev is going to get the pre-fight onto him, securing the round for Rhythm. And I don't know what to say. It was very awkward for a decent time being. It looked like they had all the operators there. It looked like everything was going well. And then they just kind of went, I don't know what we want to do, guys.
Yeah, honestly, this would be harsh, but of all the attacking rounds we've seen from RMA, that was the worst one we've seen today, I'd say. Just the fact that they didn't do anything. They just got stalled out. They're like sitting outside front lobby. I mean, 2 guys or, a guy got took out outside red bar.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's like, I reckon a service rush was definitely called then or something along those lines of a bait, but there's no one really dedicated to it.
Yeah, they just didn't follow up on potentially any of the calls. The Blitz was a bit, toesy for a little bit there. He wasn't sure what he wanted to do. He could have been utilizing that time to potentially drone. But, it didn't pay off for them in the end. Hopefully they use this information and learn upon it for the next time they play. We are going into the blue bar and obviously Sunrise. And, potentially see that top-down play yet again. Hopefully we don't see that rush that we saw last time with the
with the lack of smokes. Yeah. The Ying flashbang. Yeah, no, we had 2 rushes on this side, didn't we? We had the one through the mini directly into red. Then we had the other one which went into office where the Ying, as you said, the Ying got thrown into his back. Yeah, and blinded everyone on his own team. Yeah. So, be interesting to see how they change it.
Looks like Unit's going for that run out early in the game. This is a really cheeky angle, but he's not going to find anyone.
Oh, good night, sweet prince.
Yes, Sagon cleaning his clock straight out. I thought that was a really good pixel peek, but
Yeah, I'm surprised he read into it. Well, I guess that's why you have an ACOG, but then he gets another one. Gee, they just read into that aggression. Tapping heads, he gets a little bit of health off Mop. I reckon that was the exact same peak he did from last time. That was a very low IQ play coming out from Worthy there. He's peaked it from red again. So yeah, not the greatest of ideas.
Ball's not going out. They're throwing a lot of drones at this literal Mozzie door. They can't get it quite in. I guess they're just going to use one drone to waste it out and then get their drones inside. Maybe, like, that's a good play at the end of the day. You can get your drones in at least that way. Oh, Pre-Fire coming out, and he's going to clip Mop all the way down to about 10 hit points.
Just breathe, Mop. It's all right. Just don't have to Pre-Fire anything. Yeah, Thumbnail's going to have to go huge here for his team to find something. He gets spotted out. He's going to go aggressive on the last play. He gets a trade, I want to say. Yeah, trade. Yeah, just well played from... Well, I wouldn't say well played from... Say well played from Sagan. Let's say that. I'm not sure who it was well played by. It was Sagan. He got those two opening picks off the spawn peaks. It was probably more poorly played by a Rhythm than anything, and that'll get it to a 5-4.
Yeah, Sagan picking up those early picks helped him out, and then followed up by Bundy doubling down on those and getting two more, followed up by that trade, really, brought it home for them. They're doing a lot better, but it's still that rank play style. It's still just going for those like run and gun sort of scenarios where you're just like, I know a guy's here, let's all just rush him at the same time.
Yeah, and Thumbnail going huge for the boys right now, 11-6. The rest of it's actually pretty similar across both teams. Thumbnail's being the difference so far across this map, and he's what's keeping Rhythm in the lead, I'd say.
Defenders,
hopefully they are able to secure these rounds for themselves. They kind of need the points. I wouldn't say overly need the points like Rhythm, but definitely having them will help them out a lot, as they only have one lot of games tomorrow, and then that will be it.
I don't think they can make Pro League, but it's more the fact of making sure that Rhythm don't make Pro League is what they're going for. I think they had to at least... They probably had to win both games for at least stopping Rhythm. It's more dependent on the Cryptic games, I think.
Yeah, it comes down to how Cryptic go at the end of the day. If Cryptic are able to take those games away from them, potentially they won't be doing so well, obviously. The score is currently they're on 16 points, Cryptic's on 16, and Homeless on 17. So, Homeless only has the game on tonight, so they can only get so many points at the end of the day. It's pretty much comes down to the games that are going to be on tomorrow night between Cryptic and Rhythm. This one's in the bag pretty much for their first game, obviously, and I'd like to say they're not going to cause a draw or a loss, but the curveballs are consistently coming out, so RMA could take this away from them and just put them back just enough to throw them under the bus.
Yeah, stranger things have happened, I'll say that much.
All right, there's 2 minutes and 10 seconds odd left on the clock, and they're still trying to get into the building as much as they can. They've taken control a lot of the east side towards the front door, but outside of that, they're still trying to get any picks that they can. 5 and 5 still on the pretty much radar. They're not really getting anywhere from here. It's very, very slow pushing, and the pace is really slowed down.
Yeah, it's just kind of a stall. There's no health has been traded yet. I think that's the first time we've seen no health off any player this whole entire series within the first minute 30. So they can prove me wrong. They still got 4 seconds. Okay, they couldn't prove me wrong. I take it back.
All right. Well, at least they've taken control of Aquarium yet again, but they still have to get the diffuser behind the A-bomb unless they're going for some absolutely ballsy play and potentially getting it up on the in-between wall, but they would have to clear out the rest of the room for it to come to fruition. Drones coming out trying to find anyone else left in the room, and we are finally going to see Isworthy taking down Sagon 4-5. Wayne Man slowing down this push with those smoke babes coming out. They've still got the Maestro Cam on the board as well, just behind the billiard table. That's definitely going to slow them down significantly more. It's nice to see that RMA has taken the effort to bring a couple extra people with Bundy this time. It is very useful. Mop taking out Thumbnail downstairs is definitely going to help him out. Ooh.
He didn't finish him. No, he does finish him now. I was going to say, if he didn't try to finish that kill, would have been an interesting play. But there we go. 34 seconds left, and it's a 3v4 with plenty of utility left on the side of the defenders. And also on the attackers, they have all stacked up into the one post though, so Mop's going to try and quickly rotate, lead the plan for the last 20 seconds. One smoke wave left, 2 EE1Ds left on the line. I'm not surprised. Why isn't he pop it yet? Pop it. You have the time, dude. Pop the damn thing. And then it's just going to be who can win their gunfights right now, because the utility will slow it down a fair bit.
10 seconds remaining.
Diffuser going down, but he's going to get headshotted straight up. Mop takes out Unit, followed up by Punt taking out Leb. Wayne following it up, and his kills all around, back and back. Followed up, but unfortunately, Rhythm are going to take that one home. There just wasn't enough time. They really, RMA, as you said, they needed to bring it around a bit closer together. On top of that, that line charge could have gone out a little bit earlier. In sync with the with the diffuser going down would have definitely helped them out there. Just those picks towards the end really throw it around.
Well played by Wayne in the end there. Props to him. He got that. I was surprised he managed to get that final kill onto the planter. The sledge most likely should have been covering for that, or he should have at least expected that the smoke was there. So he's just escaped with his life and the round for Rhythm.
Yeah, a little bit of awkward positioning, especially because they had someone on double. Obviously, one playing the diffuser and the other one in the back of Aquarium. But I don't think whoever was in the back of Aquarium might have just accidentally got picked off a little bit too early, and it's kind of thrown them a weird thrown a curveball back to them, and they just didn't have enough time to figure out what they wanted to do from there.
In the end, really well played by, I'd say, both teams. It was more the fact that it just came down to picks, as I said. It was that bomb plant wasn't safe behind the bomb, as it generally is. It kind of needs smokes for that plant to like put a sense of doubt into where you're planting.
Yeah, you can get like just your thigh shot through, obviously, where the bomb is itself. It's not complete cover, and especially from the angle that the guys have been playing with between sites, you know, it's too much of a wide angle. You can't defend against it, as you said, without bringing the smoke grenades. They didn't have anything available. Jaeger was still on the board. You know, it is too many variables.
Yeah, and that's what ultimately led to it. I think it was also something to do with time restriction. I feel as if maybe they had more time to position themselves a bit better. It also would have probably went to RMA's way, but just the fact that the time had been drained so severely is what really helped them out in the end.
Surprisingly enough, I think that was one of their better pushes so far throughout the whole, like, both games. There was no kills coming out until it was like there was a minute left. And then finally, like, one pick came out, and then they slowly bled in. But it was a very slow, methodical sort of play style. They droned in, they made sure they had all the positions that they wanted, and even if they weren't getting those picks that they wanted, they were still getting the ground that they needed.
Yeah, exactly. And nonetheless, we are on the next round, a minute in. We're just seeing a pretty default kind of hold. There's not much presence upstairs. They've already forfeited it off with a minute left. One drone getting taken out on the white stairs, but apart from that, they're finally moving their way into theater with only a minute 45 left. So I guess, you know, that's what RMA should have done last round when we were talking about it, when they were defending up here. They kind of left all their players up top and kind of forfeited a round just from that. So nice to see an adaptation from Rhythm instead.
Yeah, and getting that backpedal sort of going on and making sure that you don't need to die just to hold this area. You can give it up as long as you've stored that original time, obviously. Outside of that, though, the Sledge is apparently just narrowly escaping that C4. He's trying to get this pre-fire onto Isworthy, but he's just dancing around with those tap shoes. And finally, Pun is making his way over to where he probably needs to be and getting this verticality.
You reminded me of the boom headshot video. I'm dancing! Just keep hitting headshots. At least finds the first one through a barricade. That's unfortunate for Lev. Getting his head taken there clean off his shoulders, so that'll definitely lead the advantage. And Maestro late game is one of the strongest things to come against.
You're getting clearing that out very early is good for them. Up taking out Thumbnail. That's the top fragger off the board, which is really good for them. No more Goo Mines are going to be coming out. And they have cleared out, I think, bathroom and front lobby. So it's going to be up to Wayne to really like muscle down on this objective and try and hold out. Worthy, I think, is all the way in the back stall where that hole is, where the drone hole is. Not a favorable position. Flames coming out, but they're not quite able to get it just yet. Capital Bolt's coming out. He's running straight through everything and planting. Oh, but it's not quite enough, as we did say. Worthy just in such a sneaky position. They're not expecting it. He just snuck over there, got picked off. 2 seconds remaining on the clock. They are just able to...
No way, he doesn't stick the plant. That goes to Rhythm. Wow, that was... I'd argue that was just because...
fumbled it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, but Worthy really well played in that bathroom. They didn't drone him out. All they needed to do was get someone to go to the drone hole and take him out, and they didn't have anyone watching the holes from above onto him. So that's really what cost them the game there. And I would like to think, regardless of if that plant had have gone down, or if it had started going down, Unit was in the right position to deny it anyway. So it wouldn't have mattered if you had stuck it in the end anyway.
Whether or not it could have been saved or not is one thing. I really did think he started defusing, but yeah, that map going obviously to Rhythm. They were taking it home 7-4, giving them a full 6 points, which is very much what they needed at the end of the day. But yeah, that was our first 2 maps, both of them going towards Rhythm. As I did say, we did predict this. I don't want to say we didn't expect too much from Read My Aggression, but at the end of the day, it's nearly the team that's been the top seed for the whole series versus the team that's been at the bottom for the whole series. I'm not expecting a great deal.
No.
Outside of that, we do have coming up very, very shortly, after a bit of an intermission, we will be having the games between Homeless and Team 53. How are you feeling about those ones, man?
I'll be honest, I'm feeling the same.
Yeah.
Feeling the same as Rhythm versus RMA. They're very similar teams. RMA ready to get down and dirty, the same as Team 53, and Rhythm and Homeless on top of the ladders, respectively. So, yeah, I think it'll be a bit of a scrape out. The nails will be out.
Not a problem at all. We'll get more into it after our ad break. Well, after our break in general. We don't really do ads, I should say. This is not a full-on production. But at the end of the day, thank you for sticking around so far, and we'll see you straight after this break.
Just some technical difficulties with already. We're back
Yeah.
with Homeless and Team 53. Should be a barn burner, as they say in the American pro leagues. We're a lot more professional than them, so we say it's going to be a bushfire. So hopefully we can get into the vetoes reasonably soonish.
Yeah, a little bit of awkward situation on my end. I muted both it from software on and the physical side of my mic. But yeah, we have the next game coming up very shortly. It's going to be Homeless versus Team 53. We already did have the games between Rhythm and Read My Aggression tonight. Obviously, that went heavily favored towards Rhythm, and I think that's brought them up to 23 points onto the ladder, which is going really well for them. And Homeless just a little bit behind them on 17. And if they do want to come second, depending on how the Rhythm and Cryptic games go tomorrow night, if they do want to come second and have potential to go Pro League, they really do need to win both of these games. So, getting in, we do have. Give me 1 second. Sorry. It's Stiggs, Strider, Dino, Hayward, and Arlo on Homeless. And on Team 53, we have Johnster, Ghetto Vet, Hamio, PRXZY, and Sphinx.
Don't question it.
I was I was gonna say pricks. I was like, yeah.
Prugs. Yeah, we'll just say Prugs during the game.
But yeah, those are your team lineups for the moment. What sort of maps do you reckon we're going to be seeing into the pick ban phase?
I wouldn't be surprised if we see something more of a wider out, kind of spread out map, like a clubhouse, like a cafe, like a bank. That really seems to favor the more structured style of Homeless. 53. I'm not too sure. You can never really predict Team 53. You never know what's gonna come out. So it'll be interesting to see what map we end up with.
I'm leaning a little bit more towards probably Consulate. Just based on the bans that they have done for their previous maps, we have definitely seen coming out from Homeless. They're not a border fan. Villa, Coastline, Bank, straight out. For Team 53, obviously, Cafe, Clubhouse, Border, Bank, similar map picks. At the end of the day, it might be one of the last ones. We're just waiting for a couple more players to sneak in the lobby after we get through these vetoes. And looks like we are going to be, is that Clubhouse?
Yep, it is a Clubhouse, which will be a I think it'll definitely favor Homeless. It seems to be Homeless is one of their better maps from what I've seen previously. On the flip side, Team 53, from their stats, they tend to like Clubhouse. They banned out Clubhouse twice, but that was against Monkey Business. So maybe they're starting to favor it more these days.
Either way, it is currently Homeless are no longer the number 1 seed, but it's the number 2 seed versus the number 5 seed. What's your predictions? Give us some caster curses coming out.
7-2 Homeless Way. Oh, no, 7-1 Homeless Way, I'm going to say, on Clubhouse. I think they'll just overpower them. I think from what I saw, their strats, Homeless, they seem to be very strong. 53s in the past, their droning's been a little bit faulty. Their clears have been a little bit faulty. If they can continue to work as a team, I think it'll look good for Team 53, though.
Yeah, I'm going to lean towards it very similar, probably 7-1. Homeless just come off as the better team at the end of the day. At the end of the day, I think they're going to do well. And as I said, they definitely do need to bring home both these maps if they want to secure themselves a place for those top 2 slots.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we're just waiting. One man having a few issues on Team 53. Apparently his wire is broken. Nah, just joking. That's everyone's excuse.
We will be getting into it very, very shortly. But outside of that, to quickly dive into what we might have on for tomorrow night's games. Tomorrow night for Playday 9 is going to be potentially, I do say potentially, Monkey Business versus Read My Aggression for tomorrow. That game isn't 100% confirmed just yet. We'll just be waiting and seeing on that, followed up by obviously the game we're all waiting for, which is going to be the make or break game of Team Cryptic versus Rhythm. And
Barn burner. as they say.
Yeah. Mm. So we'll just have to wait and see on that one. But it looks like we've finally got the last couple of players coming through. Team 53 finally getting the last couple of players into the lobby. And we are going to be starting very, very shortly. If we don't, I'll be very, very sad.
It's all right. I love talking to you, Red. It's all right, man. What
Oh.
product you got in your hair today, bro? Is that you been
Oh.
waxing it?
Pantene Ultra.
Oh, I know you shampoo and condition, bro. I'm not a big
Yeah.
fan of it. You know, I'm a vegan myself. You know,
Oh.
I don't promote harmful works on animals. So you know,
are you shaming me?
maybe I am.
That's so good. All right, we are going into the game. It is Clubhouse, straight into the band phase. What do you reckon? I'm thinking, your defaults sort of thing. Your standard rank ones: Capitao, Mirror, Echo, maybe
Maybe
Jaeger or
Jackal?
Bandit.
Jackal, you did
Jackal.
just. I think you just named 3 defenders, or am I smoking? Anyway,
No, at the end I said maybe out. Yeah, I did.
I'm gonna predict a Jackal. I reckon Jackal's gonna go off the board.
Hmm.
Actually, on Clubhouse,
Maverick,
Maverick is very default. So yeah,
Mhm.
I see. My brain just clearly wasn't up with it there. But now I wouldn't be surprised if it's a Jackal or a hard breach ban. Would not be surprised there. No Capitao. Okay,
Capitao,
I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go.
That's pretty
retire,
standard.
guys. See you later.
You're still in it, man. You're still in it. Call the
Nah.
next one.
It's all right. Okay, it'll be a mirror. I'm just gonna say it now.
Ooh.
See, what can I say? I've got it
Are you-
back, boys. I've got the knack back.
Are
For
you
the
a wi-
last ban, I'm not a wizard. Sorry, I'm not a wizard, Harriet. For the last one, I'm gonna say Echo. Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay. See, what can I say? Two from 4. Not bad.
I was
Not
gonna
bad.
say, done well.
I'll be able to sleep at night at least. So with that, the Capitao ban, it'll allow for the rafters to be played quite safely, which is a positive, especially before Whammo is out. When Whammo comes out, it'll be interesting to see how that changes the meta. But regardless, with their Capitao not in play, it should be looking pretty good for them on that rafter defense of Cash. And that'll be the first side as well. Cash and CC. No, they're changing it. Church and Arsenal. They just wanted to change it just to mess with them. Damn you, Team 53. And they're also bringing out a castle, so that's probably going to be a bait for like some sort of a gym and bedroom, or they're going to be doing some big brain strats up on the pool table. I think they're going to be doing the big brain strats up on pool table. So whether Homeless read into that will be interesting.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you with the specifically with that castle pick, as we do see Team 53 start on
Defenders,
defense.
protect your bombs from
More than likely, I've seen a couple teams put the castle door like right next to the pool table, and then try to hold obviously the main lobby area as long as possible, or the bar area, I should say. But whether or not they leave the hatch open is another thing to get back. It looks like they are sailing it, which is good. We have seen it in the past. Other teams use it to get back. Unfortunately, it's not been a bit like big brain play.
Yeah,
But,
look, it's not the worst of ideas. I have seen teams push the castle barricade further out and then play that little featy hole up onto the front door, which isn't a bad strat, but it doesn't look like they want to dedicate
5 seconds left before insertion.
everything to it at least. And he's just like, screw it, why not put a castle barricade on the meat locker door? I have one left, why not put it there? This is interesting. Are they trying to play that kitchen hallway, or are they trying to waste utility with the castle? I don't
think-
know.
I think they're just using it to burn time. Obviously, so they've only got one, or outside of potentially Thatcher having breaches, they'll only have the Zofia to break through. You don't want to be wasting frags on it, obviously. Probably not going to be. They're putting a lot of eggs in the basket that the sledge wasn't brought.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, but it definitely, like, because of how the Homeless has picked their operators, they've done well, and they've gone, hey, we can probably just burn all these doors in these areas, and they're not going to be able to get through. And like cutting off those rotations outside of obviously going out the kitchen hallway and back into, storage. Like,
Gonna be get that Mozzie. I'm surprised that Mozzie camera wasn't up on that CC door, and he's just gonna slowly mosey on around. It's gonna be a free kill for him. The shift walk can work wonders for you, I will say, and it's worked wonders for Spigs there, and they're gonna continue to drone out. He was solo, but so was Johnson, so it was kind of a 50-50 kind of roam. Not the greatest of ideas, albeit they have wasted a minute 30.
yeah, 1 minute 30 for one player. not the worst thing in the world, but at the same time, that's pretty much your core roamer down at the end of the day, depending on where we are going to be seeing the Jaeger played. I think he is playing on site. They're playing Steel Box Simulator.
Still
But
possible.
yeah,
I play that.
we do see it a lot depending on the objective, but you know, it looks like those castle doors are doing exactly what they wanted them to do, and they're pretty much just completely cut off those rotations, and you know, they're just trying to have to use that time to break through them via melee.
Yeah, it also means that Legion can't really flank directly onto the bar. So maybe it's kind of worked out worse for wear. Yeah, on Team 53's side, because he was hiding in blue as well, which it can be a power position if those castles aren't up.
Bomb located by
But
attackers.
in the end, it looks like it's going to end up hurting him. So he's probably going to rotate down blue, or he's going to go for a flank. He has two options.
Yeah, 30 seconds left on the clock, and Homeless still need to like hard push into the objective. They've got a lot of those hatches open. They're trying to go for as many picks as they can. We do see Stiggs picking up PRX, followed up by Sphinx, trading back onto Dino, straight onto Hayward, taking out Hamyo. And it's down to 2 versus 4, 15 seconds left on the clock. The thermite charges are trying to open up furthermore of the area, taking out that castle door. 10 seconds left. They really need to get this diffuser down. He's going to get it straight onto the floor. Whether or not they can contain it is another thing. Ghetto gets taken down, and it is pretty much all down to Sphinx. Can he do it or not? He has to do the retake, and the answer is no. Doesn't have enough time, doesn't have enough angles. And Homeless actually secured that round really quickly, just in those last 30 seconds.
Yeah, it was very explosive onto the armory bomb site. I just don't think there were. It was mainly gunfights lost, which really hurt him. The crossfires weren't coming out, and the frags were all just flying in the way of Homeless. So, yeah, not too much else to really read into it. It was a well coordinated execute.
They've done well for themselves, made sure to clear out everything that they need to clear. Outside, obviously, of the thermite being forced to thermite that castle door onto the kitchen open so he could rotate back out. I'm pretty sure he was off over at tunnel, and he needed to come back in and didn't have enough time to obviously jump in through the window that was closed as well. Outside of that, it really was well executed.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Yeah, and now we're going to skip and going up to the bedroom. I guess with that castle pick, it would have been up onto... It would have been kind of a 50-50. It would have either been gym bedroom or it would have been downstairs again. So it doesn't look like it's really swayed the operator picks at all. Still the exact same operators coming out. Double hard breach, Thatcher, your Zofia, and your Thermite.
It's actually really bold that they've opted to go to bedroom so early in. They still had obviously cash on the board, which they could have played. On top of that, if they really wanted to, they could have played in the basement yet again.
Yeah.
They nearly did hold it off, so like definitely playing it a second time and going, well, you know what? We nearly held it. If we can do something about those last 30 seconds, they potentially could have turned it around. But it looks like they've just gone, you know what? Screw it. We're just going to play what is considered not the hardest hardest outside of obviously bar, but bar's not an objective because we all know why.
Yeah, it's not exactly the most favored one, but to be fair, in the recent Pro League finals, Gym was actually the more successful site than CC Cash. CC Cash has become really stale recently and become so overplayed that it can be kind of harder to defend these days. So this, I would arguably say that this is the second strongest site in the current meta.
Depending on how they take it, looks like we are going to have a cheeky bandit trick. If it's on the right wall, yes, it is. Takes out that first thermite charge. As I was saying, yeah, it depends on obviously the strats that they're going for, and if you pretty much go for at the end of the day being like, hey, we already know that they're more than likely going to be playing like these objectives. Let's just figure out how we can play bedroom.
And that's both bandit tricks going off. Really well played by Sphinx. There's no way that he should have been able to get that off. And that's both thermite charges down. They're going to be locked out of that jacuzzi, which is a very much a PowerPoint play. There's a fear. I'm not too sure what he... okay. The Zofia has kind of stuffed up the Zofia trick, which has caused the wall to not be open and both the thermite charges to be taken down. But he's also fallen off the building for 5. That leaves him on 5 health, so it's not looking really good. It's like they've almost just forfeited this round. They didn't even want to bother picking up sticks. So they're going to have to do something explosive to get these frags. And Johnson's going to find the first on the diner. That's a full health of Barnett. That's all hard breach off the board right there. And then Hayward takes out Johnson to the trade. Strider's going to try and drop this hatch. Have to try and flush this elbow out, but no, Harlow pinches from, where was that? That must have been a good shot wherever Harlow got him from. And that'll be back down towards favor of Homeless somehow.
Yeah, Arlo picking up just from the veranda section, but we still do have Ghetto playing in the very similar position. Whether or not they find him in there, I'm pretty sure that Hayward knows he's in there because he keeps doubling back over to it, but he doesn't want to put enough pressure onto him to clear him out, as it looks like they're pretty much on site. Yeah, they get the diffuser down and everybody else is kind of cleared away. A lot of kills coming down. Stiggs taking it at Stiggs.
Attackers are activating
Diffuser getting onto the floor. Wow, that was same thing again. Very explosive right at the end there. They just brought it around. Just quiet.
Yeah, these side players of Team 53 have really got to sort something out. I'm not sure how they're dying so easily. I mean, they've done it. Sphinx has done the hard work for him early in the round, stopping that trick, and then he got rid of both the thermite charges, and then just for his side players to die from window peaks, that's really poor play. That shouldn't be happening at a Challenger League standard. That's really what's hurt him late into this round. I mean, hell, it was a 5v4, I think it was, the first kill coming out, and Hamyo just didn't support his teammates. He was sitting on cash stairs. I'm not sure what he was doing there, because they had free reign over that balcony when it wasn't exactly getting contested that much. So yeah, just a disappointing round from Team 53 and a nice execute, I guess, coming out from Homeless.
Yeah, I think it's just poor communication coming down at the end of the day. Obviously, when the player's playing the main OBJ, going down, no one re-rotating in and picking up the slack. But outside of that, yet again, it was this very same situation where they, as I said, they held the full period and then they just kind of whiffed right at the end.
Yeah. It's a little bit. It was a little bit disappointing to see. The Sphinx did such a good job of bandit tricking that wall.
We are going to be going over to Cash now. They're really swapping it up. They're just going, you know what?
5 seconds left.
Our strats on this didn't work. You know what? We'll get him with the next one. Hit him with the next one.
Well, to be fair, the capital is banned, so theoretically, of course, this balcony should be easier to hold. They do have a Zofia in place still, so the impacts can come out. But apart from that, it should be easier to hold than Gym Bedroom, especially with no sludge coming out. And the exact same operator lineup coming out from Homeless 3 rounds in a row now as well.
Yeah. Definitely going to be hard to get into this main wall, depending on if Ziggs goes downstairs and potentially, like, just impacts underneath. I think that's probably the best way to clear this out. As we saw before, they're definitely not going to clear it out. More than likely.
No, he goes to the Zofia instead, and it still gets taken down.
Yeah.
Just the same thing over and over. It's, as they say, the definition of insanity. And maybe Stiggs has gone insane. I'm not too sure. So they've lost one thermite charge. Where they choose to put this second thermite charge will be interesting. Do they rotate to Con? Do they try and stick it here? Do they wait for the bandit to rotate off to Con and try bandit pick the other wall? Stiggs is going to enter. He's going to get taken down. Once more, John's half health. Stiggs coming out of the worst of it. That's the utility down. There's no way they can really get those maestros off of site now, unless Hayward can cook those grenades just right in the kitchen.
Not only that, they pretty much have no chance at clearing this bandit off the wall outside of that now, as, you know, the verticality play outside the Buck, who's currently off elsewhere. They're just, you know, there's nothing to happen. They can't do it. They had to rotate off, and it looks like they're going to go for construction plays instead. Flashbang's coming out, seeing if they can get in there. It does look like everybody's playing a bit further off site, but they still have peak lines of sight into the room. I don't think rushing straight in will be the play.
This is when it seems to go bad for Team 53. When they seem to be, when Homeless are on the back foot, it's when they seem to play the best. And the pre-fire going out, almost taking out PRX's brain. He gets into the drone hole instead. So if they can, I reckon if they split on the side right now, this would be the perfect time. They have those crosses, but they have no spruce to cover that cross. That is the main problem with this lineup coming out from Homeless.
Bomb located.
Yeah, and we do see PRX getting dropped straight through that drone hole, but Ghetto's taking out Arlo, followed up by a double onto Hayward. And that's really good trading, even though PRX is currently down.
Just leave me.
It is now a 2 versus now 4, as we do see Dino picking up PRX. 23 seconds left on the clock. Only hard breaches left. No grenades on the clock. And we see Hayme take out Dino, followed up by a Strider, trading back onto Sphinx. Ooh, but a cheeky C4 by
Kobe up from below. Yeah, well, as I said, Sphinx, he's been the GOAT on the bandit trick so far. He's been stopping those Zofia charges, the barricade's blocking it off, and Homeless just doing the same thing over. They couldn't do it again, though, where they clutched up the round. So they're going to have to go back to the drawing board with these Zofia tricks, to be honest.
Yeah, I think outside of, obviously, the Thermo Thatcher combo that they've got going at the moment, they need something else on the board, and they're not bringing an answer to this bandit trick. And you can bandit trick on nearly every side on this map, so like at the end of the day, they really need to look at what's going on and try to update it. Bringing IQ in this situation could actually be really good. Outside of that, on that side specifically, clearing out obviously the guy that was playing on blue stairs, I would say was the way to go.
One thing I have realized is on this side, they're not really bringing any intel ops. Looking at what they have, there's no way they can tell who's planting on the side. They've brought a total of 2 nitros, so from the looks of it, they're not really going to be playing vertical. I'm kind of questioning these strats coming out from Team 53. They're opening up the hatch to watch the gym jump in, but apart from that, there's no bulletproofs on the side unless Hamio has one in his back pocket. Yeah, no Maestro, no Valkyrie. Valkyrie's not banned. Echo is banned though, so they can't bring him. Just a lack of information will hurt Team 53 on the side.
5 seconds left.
Yeah, but more than likely we are going to be seeing Sphinx bandit trick that same wall again. Whether or not he can get it is one thing or another.
He should be able to. They don't have a Zofia this time, so yeah, should be able to.
Well, if it's anything to go by off last time, 100%.
Wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah. But outside of that, it does look like they are going to be playing heavily over in the cache area yet again. Hopefully they do utilize it a little bit more onto those rafters and are able to clean up Homeless when they are doing that big, like that gym push that they did last time where they just jumped inside. Oh, it looks like Strider's already aware of the fact that, he's going to be bandit tricking. It's very obvious. And they've traded the Zofia out for a Nomad.
Are they doing a Nomad? As if this works. No.
It won't work.
No. See, what? Are they memeing on them? This is like their make or break match for Pro League, and they're trying a Nomad trick. I guess maybe they're trying to make a Coconut Bra highlight video or a Jaeger himself video. I'm not too sure what they're trying to go for here. But it hasn't worked, and I'm not sure if Strider lost that first. Did he lose that first charge? Yeah, and see, the fact that they traded out the Zofia
Bomb located by
for this Nomad is not a good idea because there's a barricade in front of him. How are you supposed to get rid of that barricade now without a... You got fucked. That's it. He's going to have to cook a grenade in there. That's it. Haywood's going to get a kill off the other side of the map over in cache. So, regardless, they're still managing to find these picks regardless of whether they can get this wall open, which is kind of disappointing.
It's just coming down to Strider and Sphinx just staring each other off through this reinforced wall as everybody else gets the game underway. And it looks like Homeless have pretty much taken control of cache, going to push their way through construction. Whether or not Ghetto is able to hold off on that little corner office or not is one thing. But if it's anything to go by last time, Haywood might just pop off and clean everybody's clocks yet again and potentially get that plant down over in the gym, as they did castle off. But they did actually prep the castle door that goes onto gym from the hallway. So as long as Sphinx stays alive, they should be okay.
This is when it gets really dicey for Team 53. This is like when they really start to fall apart, when these aggressive players start to come out onto them. And if Ghettovet can win this 1v1, it'll bode well for him. If you can find that Nitro, it takes a little bit of help off Stiggs. Still a shotgun crashing through a hole. That's not going to end well for you boys. It's not going to end well at all. And Ghetto's just going to hold this down like a champ. The first time Team 53 really hasn't over-aggressed, but the plant's going to be coming down from Strider into Jim. No real congestion coming out from the boys. Strider gets almost taken out. Sphinx trades out. Sphinx gets one to Hamio. Oh, he gets one to Hamio. Sorry, my words getting sphincted. Sphinx takes out Strider 3v3. Ghetto takes out Stiggs 2v3. And all the defenders on low health. Haywood finds the first one. They're all weak. He can clutch this out quite easily. It's a 2v2 now. One weak player. PRX pushes up onto the statue, finds the first one. It's currently a 1v1. He gets shot through the wall. Haywood! What a play! Picks up, I think that was 3 or 4 for the match. I can barely keep up with it. My brain is too small. And once more, Team 53 lose it in the late rounds, and Home was just explosive onto the side.
Yeah, I surprisingly called that. It was literally just Hayward coming out and just going, all right, time to go in, boys. And he just ran in. He shot somebody through the wall. I think he shot Ghetto through the wall and then just kept leading and cleaned up that round really well. They went through the exact same plant they did last time. The wall, they actually C4'd the door open instead of punching it and utilizing the C4.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure what the thought process was there.
Attackers need to
Just
locate
punch it and
and
shoot in
defuse
swings, because you know when that plant goes down, there's going to be one person covering from your gym balcony. That's guaranteed. All we need to do is contest that guy and scare straight off the plant, but instead he's wasted a nitro and yeah, did he think he was planning on the barricade? I'm not too sure, but once more, they can't get the wall open. And it just goes, they lose it. It's not logical how Team 53 are losing this, especially on defense. They're 3-1 down defense. It shouldn't be going down like this.
Yeah, on top of that, as you said with the C4, they probably could have utilized it even furthermore if they used that time, because obviously it's the same thing happened twice. Is basically even though they do have control of the area, Homeless just goes, oh, they're not looking right now, everybody in, and just you know, jump in at the same time. And because as we've been saying, they're not bringing intel operators,
Exactly.
and so they just don't know when they're in.
It's so it baffles me as to why they're bringing a Valkyrie now, but a Valkyrie last round would have saved them. Like, they could have just rotated down the main stairs and they would have had a free denial. They had no verticality whatsoever. The reason why they don't have verticality is because they had no intel. So it's a double-edged sword, really.
Yeah, it does look like Ghetto got taken off the board really early. That's actually not very good for a Legion, as
It's like a spawn peak, yeah.
yeah, he got taken out on the ladder, or like towards the oil pit area. Potentially he ran out main door, or not the main door, like the garage door, and then tried to backpedal in, got shot, and his corpse fell down the ladder. I would assume so anyway. Outside of that, it's definitely not the situation you want to be in. I don't know whether they're not utilizing those castle doors that they did last time. They probably learned this time, you know. it didn't really work as well as we were hoping last time. Sphinx having a little bit of trouble getting this cage trap right in the middle. It needs to kind of, it's a max range.
Just stand there and throw it. Thank you, Sphinx. Thank you. You got there eventually, man. That's what's important.
Yeah, that one's a bit of a max ranger. Has he put it too low? He's put it too,
I think he's. Oh my god.
No,
It's all right. I take everything back. All right, so Strider's going to be locked out. No Thatcher available for him for the next so often. And once more, Stiggs is the opening death for Homeless. He's either very explosive, Stiggs, or he's a little bit downtrodden. And so far, he was explosive in the first round. Since he's been a little bit more quiet. We're still yet to see much else. Just a lot of vertical play. Nothing really else. A bit of aggression from the defenders. Johnston did get tagged up heavy on that play. So yeah, maybe an alright trade, blow for blow.
Yeah, depending on whether they want to plant in Arsenal or in Church, is definitely how it's going to go. They've cleared out all those cage traps on Moto, so it's definitely a freebie for that one, but they've just jumped straight down the Arsenal hatch, going for the defuse. Sphinx is actually in a position to do something about it. They've just let it go. Yet again, no intel coming out, and they've just let a freebie drop down. Arlo taking out PRX, followed by Sphinx trading to Strider, but Dino getting the really long angle onto Sphinx. Dino trying his absolute best to clear out Arlo, but it's just not happening. Dino taking out Joestar, cleaning out that round. And that was literally just a complete lack of information coming out. The Thermite just dropped into a room that was still surrounded by defenders and just put the bomb down.
Yeah,
put the diffuser down.
It doesn't make sense to me. What the hell is going on, right?
That was incredibly bold.
Yeah, every time I watch Team 53, I try to work out what I'm watching, and I'm still yet to come to a conclusion. They just need intel on site, really. Like, they shouldn't be letting this happen. They need a smoke or a nitro to just lug it in the back of Armory, where he's going to be default planning behind the bomb. It's not that hard to deny. Like,
that was just, I literally, I don't even think they knew that the diffuser was down, like going down, until obviously the diffuser was down.
Yeah, exactly. So it makes me wonder: is it?
Attackers need to
Is,
locate
is
and
there
defuse
information on
bombs.
it? Is there anything on it?
I was gonna say, is it just a lack of positioning? Obviously, from the ceiling or the verticality play coming out from the buck, opening up a lot of arsenal. They also weren't bothering to trick the hatch. Didn't bother with a K-trap on it, nor were they trying with impacts, so that obviously left another bit of a dampener in that situation. But yeah, Sphinx playing down dirt when they already had the double up on on somebody holding blue. Bit of a, I don't want to say a useless position, but it's not necessity at the time.
No, and Schmed is such a powerful position to play
Attackers
in
must
that
locate and
on that
defuse
bomb
the
site,
bomb.
and just the lack of like support a Schmed player is getting. It's interesting. It'd be interesting to see if another bandit trick can come down as well. The bandit tricking from Team 53 has been, I want to say, their only highlight so far coming out from Team 53. So if they can continue their bandit tricking, hell, it might look all right for them.
Yeah, it's a really wide claymore coming out from Arlo. Very, very fun. I don't think it's actually touching the door frame, so I'm assuming he thinks they're gonna come outwards and step backwards into it.
I guess that's logical. Maybe he's a psychologist.
Big brain.
Maybe Arlo studies psychology. He knows how people want to peek a door.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
studied many times. Muscle memory. Maybe he tested how he jumps out a door. But anyway, once more, Stig's getting the opening frag or being the opening frag. The train continues, and he'll get the opening frag onto John Start for little health.
This is actually really good because this was actually the problem that they had last time when they pushed this objective, is that the Mozzie gave them so much hassle downstairs and they weren't able to get the Zofia like into blue to clear these bandit batteries. And that's probably like what it's going to come down to at the end of the day, is it looks like they are actually going to get this wall, as, you know, he's done literally that. He's come downstairs, he's gone, you know what? You can't stand there anymore, PRX. Oh, it's PRX instead of Sphinx.
Yeah, they went back to the tried and tested method of impacting below. So maybe Stiggs didn't go insane. He went back to his usual route, and that's nice. We'll
PRX.
see just that kill onto the bandit, and then another down onto the, what was that, the
Cade, yeah.
the Cade, yeah. So he's gonna get killed by these charges, I want to say. He's doing it on purpose,
that
yeah.
is, you never see that happen, eh?
And that brings us down to a 5v2. Few attackers taken weak, but apart from that, it's just a 2v5 in a rock and a hard place, really. I can't see this ending well, and they're all piled on the side. It's like a Viet Cong patrol. Get over there, find the first one, but he gets taken by Stiggs. 4v1. They're in the trees, as they say in Lord of the Rings. But it's just going to be down to Hamyo, who somehow always manages to be alive at the end of the round. I'll let you guys.
Activating diffuser.
Yeah, playing the old hiding simulator downstairs is, you know, it pays off sometimes, and it definitely didn't pay off this time as he's taken out by Hayward. But at the end of the day, the call out needs to go down that, hey, you don't have a shotgun or you don't have C4, we need you upstairs. Come back to the site.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he was downstairs looking up Conhatch when the whole team was on the site, but, you know, I'm not one to question. And it's 5-1, and they're switching over to their defensive side. So I think my prediction is looking quite good. I don't mean to flex or anything, but 7-1's looking quite good for me.
Good. It's a spicy meatball.
Yeah, it's a spicy meatball. The predictions are very spicy.
Oh, well, those caster curses are paying off, unfortunately, for poor Team 53, as they are on the back foot for the rest of these rounds, pretty much, as Homeless only needs 2 rounds to close it out. Whether or not Team 53 can bring it back to potentially a tie, it's going to be a tough one.
I only watched Team 53's previous attacks on Bank. No comment.
Oh, jeez, you just put them down the gurgler with that one, mate. That is ruthless.
Okay, if they can show me something special, hey, I'm willing to back it. I'm willing to back Team 53 to take the championship. But if they don't, my prediction will come to fruition, and I'll be the overall leader of the world.
All right, you heard it here first. If Team 53 brings it back around, Spruce is going to actually sponsor them. So
Yes, they'll be called the Spruce Mooses.
The 53 Spruce Mooses.
I train them by jumping out on windows on console.
Ooh. But, God damn it. We're 2 minutes 50 in, and looks like they're going for a very standard box simulator, like hold. It's not a bad thing at the end of the day. They don't have a rotation onto blue, which is a bit so-so dependent on if somebody is playing tunnel or not. Stig's hanging out on the stairwell. You know, it's a good position to play when you're playing Legion. You can get those cheeky picks. But Hamyo picking up the IQ. We actually haven't been seeing pretty much any IQ tonight. And it's been, like, weird.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Well, there has been... Yeah, well, to be fair, we haven't had much to see IQ. The Valkyrie cameras haven't really been getting picked too often from what I've seen. They weren't really bringing any, like, information utility on the defense. So, but on the flip side, in the Rhythm and RMA game, there was a lot of Valkyrie being played, and there was no IQ being played.
Yeah. So, it is nice to see that they've picked up on it. And they are actually utilizing like different strategies and different kits.
Yeah, just don't let PRXZ on the SMG11 and everything will be alright.
Alrighty, but he did take the bearing 9, which is very similar.
Probably worse. Just don't use the bearing 9 PRXZ. We don't want to see it. Jeez, this poor man is getting bullied by... PRXZ has a bad week. He's getting bullied by Legion Mines. And now he's gonna try and and casters as well, so it's not looking good for PRXZ right now. What if he aces right now, then he'll be redeemed in my eyes, and probably the community.
He's not done too bad, but Hamyo getting taken out straight through the floor. I'm pretty sure that was by the Valkyrie. Very tight nick angle by Dino. Nearly getting the second equal hitting up on the roof, but it's not going to actually find anybody. But yeah, that's a really tight angle. Very safe. Ooh, a lot of bullets going into the ceiling and not actually finding absolutely anyone. Hamyo looking straight back down, trying to see if he can counterpick Dino.
He loves looking down these holes, old Hamyo. He found out how it ends last time and he's just re-picking the same one. Must be some sort of a glory hole for the poor man.
The man is a little bit of a masochist, but it looks like they're potentially going for a church plant. Take out that back wall, take control of Moto, and get in. They do have
30 seconds left though. Don't forget.
Yeah. Oh! Full flash onto the thermite. Not definitely what you want to be doing, and I think it was Arlo peeked onto and nearly took Ghetto's head off, which would have been really bad. 15 seconds left on the clock. The wall is going down, and more than likely, Homeless are going to be rotating back. Stiggs taken out by PRX. And there's still only 7 seconds remaining. Kills flying out left, right, and center. If Ghetto can get in the objective and plan, it is not going to be happening. Arlo's holding that tight angle with the shotgun, and he would have just cleaned up if they actually got in just a smidgen earlier.
I wanted to see Arlo go for the clip, but sadly there was only 15 seconds left. So, yeah. What was happening during that whole round? What were Team 53 doing for that 2 minutes and 30 seconds? I saw them running down the stairs. I saw them opening up that hatch. What happened in the other 2 minutes and 30 seconds?
They got a bit unlucky with those kitchen picks. I think they just stuck around a little bit too long. Potentially thinking there was more roamers going on might have slowed down their push significantly and doing like a complete drone of upstairs. But
the whole team was on site the whole time.
Yeah, I know. Potentially going the other direction might have been a quicker solution. Sending a drone onto site and being like, all right, guys, there's 5 on site. We don't need to drone the entire map. I'm
not even going to bother speculating. I don't want to know. So we're going to move on to the cash bomb site. Jim Bedroom, it seems that the ANZ CL meta hasn't caught up with the international meta, and Cash will be the second bomb site once more.
Hey man, there's nothing wrong with playing the OGs, and that is exactly how they're going to do it. And, you know, it looks like if it's anything like last round, this is going to go 7-1. Team 53 ran out of time, as we were saying. And whether or not this bandit trick can come out by Stiggs, the same thing that Sphinx had pretty much been such a hassle.
His trademark. Really his trademark move. Above the octopus for Sphinx, the bandit trick is now his prime move.
But yeah, they've brought the double hard bridge. They brought the Zofia, IQ, Thatcher. This is a really good setup in order to take the main wall. If they can utilize it, is something else.
Going live.
Just gonna have to wait and see for that one as they are getting these garage walls open to try and get somebody onto rafters. And oh, Jaeger's. I was gonna say, I was like, what is he looking at?
Well, they haven't opened up the garage door for some reason, which is generally a pretty standard thing to do on one of these attacks. But they have 4 people on this balcony. Look, if they don't get this wall open, they should probably be ashamed of themselves. That's all I'm going to say. But there's 4 of them here. They're all chilling. Hamio's dead, so the whole team is currently looking in the one direction at a wall. And it's just, why are they putting 2 drones in there? And he gets shot in the back. Okay, yep, and now that is... I don't know what I'm watching right now. Okay, Sphinx is going to snatch a grenade, he throws it up. I'll always continue to look at the drone hole, which was droned twice, and funnily enough, shot twice. Sticks, goes to the bandit trick, gets the first bandit trick, goes with the abundance, can't get the abundance, so the wall, that is it. The wall will be open, people. Hallelujah! We got there, and there's only 1:30 and 30 left in the round.
I think the worst part of that was Strider is sitting in blue, just pinging out this entire period that, hey guys, don't worry, all 4 of them are just standing there.
Just sitting out there, yeah. And I don't think it was a Claymore watching them either. Someone could have just jumped out and shot like a bunch of people if they really wanted to.
Even if Strider jumped out and yeeted a C4 up onto the balcony, would have been, Jesus. But yeah, they do finally get the wall open. That's probably the first time any of those walls have been open. Arlo's going to get down. Hayward's going to take out PRX, followed up by Dino taking out Johnster. It was going okay outside of obviously the 4-man, but they're falling like absolute flies. Dino taking out Sphinx, and it's all up to Ghetto. Whether or not he can do anything is another thing. He's out of exothermic charges and the Claymore, and he's going to look the wrong way and be shot in the back of the head by Hayward, taking that round, taking that first map for Homeless, and oh my, that is not a good kill cam to end the map on.
Yeah, no words really. That was hard to watch. Hopefully Team 53 can bring it up back on the next map. I think I've said that 3 times now, after every map they've played. Hayward going in nice and deep, thick and hard, 11-1, looking really nice. Sticks like on the bottom, but he did his role on the defense. He got that bandit trick off. He messed with their brains a bit, so it's nice to see. And hopefully it's not a double coastline. Hope we don't see a double clubhouse. Hopefully we're onto something different this time. We'll see the videos come out after this break, I imagine, this short break.
Yeah, we do have one more match on tonight. It's same teams obviously again, but as you said, hopefully on a different map. I don't want to seeing the same thing yet again as we saw with the double coastline. It's not that I don't like watching the gameplay. It's just, it's like watching 14 rounds on the same map. Outside of that, though, we are going to be slipping off to a break. We'll see you guys afterwards. Thank you for hanging around so far, and we'll catch you guys afterwards.
Have a good one, boys.
Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. trying to protect your soul.
Alrighty, and welcome back to Season 10 of Challenger League. We just had the game between Homeless and Team 53. It was a little bit of a landslide. Homeless taking that away. I think it was 7-1. Bit awkward towards the end of those matches by Team 53, having a little bit of a struggle taking that one home. We still do have one more match on tonight. It is yet again obviously going to be Team 53 and Homeless playing their I think it's for both teams. It's going to be their last match for the season, so they really have to round up, get those last couple points. And how are you feeling on this one, Spruce?
I'm feeling all right. Like I feel as if Team 53 they might meme around and hopefully make it quick. That's all I'm going to say.
It's getting. I was going to say it's getting a bit to your bedtime, and
It's past my bedtime. 9 o'clock is my bedtime. If anyone didn't know that, my parents come in and beat me if I don't. So, moving on.
Alrighty, so we are getting into the veto phase. Do you have any sort of ideas where they're gonna go? I'm gonna lead you with this one. I'm saying I want to see I do want to see a border game. Come on. We're not gonna see it, but I'd like to see one. We're probably gonna be
three do seem to favor Villa, and I have realized that Homeless don't mind a bit of Villa themselves. So if it goes to that, I wouldn't be surprised. Apart from that, I'm not too sure. As I said, with Team 53, it's a bit of a lucky dip.
Alrighty, as those vetoes come on in, we are going to be seeing, obviously, border taken out by 53. That's me straight out of the bandwagon. And we are leading over to Villa. Spruce Moose calling it for everybody else. Big
What can I
brain
say,
time.
man? I don't see the band's pre-match at all. I don't know what you're on about.
I'm not sure. It could be anything. Either way, we're just going to be getting into it very shortly. We're just waiting on a couple of the guys to slide on into those positions into the lobby. But outside that, Caster's Curse, big fella?
Man, I want to say 7-0.
Cool.
Yeah, okay, 7-0.
Do it.
Good. Yeah, 7-0.
Yeah,
I'll say it.
7-0.
What do you think? What do you think?
I'll double you.
7-0.
Yeah,
7-0. That's just toxic, man. At least one caster has to be a good guy. There has to be a good cop, bad cop system.
Oh, wait. No, I didn't say which side. It's 7-0.
Oh, okay. My bad. Okay. That's the good cop, bad cop I'm looking for.
Yeah.
All right. Hopefully we work into it very soon. And there we go. We're off, boys. Like a Rissole in the sun. Let me go wild.
A Rissole in the sun. It's
Yep.
definitely in the Australian heat. It doesn't even need to be in the sun. Just on the road, on the pavement. That'll definitely cook that bad boy. We get into the banning phase. Team 53 take the lead.
I think I'm going to say I reckon a Montaigne ban or a Jackal ban is going to come out somewhere along here.
Oh, you're going for the big brain bans on
Yeah,
Jackal?
I'm thinking.
Oh,
okay, I'll just quit, man.
Curveball. Thatcher coming out. For attack. Well, yeah, I don't know. Hey, probably Buck. Oh,
I just say a hard bridge. No, I didn't say a hard bridge ban. That's what I said last. Okay, I just don't know what to predict anymore. I'm just
mirror echo. That's where it's going to be.
It's just like a lucky dip. They just put their hand into a box of little bits of paper and like, hey, let's ban this today.
Slow down those hard breaches. Definitely going to make it a bit harder to push that split bomb site. Also on aviation and games room, which I keep calling billiard and maps, which everyone keeps making fun of me for.
It's all right. We'll keep on doing that.
Bless. Alrighty, Valkyrie is the last ban. That's definitely going to slow down those Intel games, and more than likely, we're not going to be. Actually, with Thatcher off the board, we may see a little bit more IQ than we have been, but probably more just leaning towards Zofia and Twitch yet again. Hayward leaning towards that IQ that we're just talking about, and Dino picking up Jackal because it is not banned.
I want to see Team 53 bring out the Tachanka. Just do it. Just bring out the Tachanka. There's a spawn peak somewhere. You can do it. Come on, man. Like
they can make our dreams be memes.
Yeah.
I trust. What about all right?
Pearlie's out of the equation. Don't forget it. Right?
Yeah. Hear me out. What if they go out the bedroom window and put the Tachanka turret on the balcony?
Let's not be silly, Red. They're gonna die to it.
Locate
They
and
need to get at least a kill.
No.
They should set it up behind the game room bar. That'd work perfect. Like that.
I was gonna say if they got the Jaeger, it could definitely pan out well, but
As long as they don't go below and just nade him off the start.
yeah, or buck him from underneath as well.
Hmm.
That's probably why it's not playing like that.
Oh well.
What
We're
absolute
just casting.
tragedy.
What do we know? We know nothing. We're casting.
No, we're small brain casters. It's
That's
okay.
why I'm stuck in gold, man. I'm a caster.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
You'll never make it, mate. Semi-pro.
don't have to.
10 seconds left.
Hashtag spruce was the problem. Don't forget. Start the hashtag.
Ooh.
everybody.
5 seconds.
Anyway, back to the game. We got a pretty basic
Attackers
basic
are
lineup.
moving out to locate a
I'd say
bomb.
Villa. You know, you got your Jackal that counters the roam. No Montaigne. Tengu does love a good Montaigne on Villa. IQ getting rid of the information. Haven't bought a Valkyrie. Team 53 seem to just dislike Valkyrie. I think they've picked her once so far. And no Maestro. No information off the gun except for the Mozzie. Mozzies are very Valkyrie is banned. Sorry, I had a small brain once more. But regardless, no Maestro. No, is Mirror Echo banned? Red? My brain is.
The bands were Thatcher, Valkyrie, Mira, and what's it called? Maverick.
So no Echo. Why isn't Echo up? Why isn't Maestro up if they're both up on the board? I'm a little bit curious as to what Team 53 are playing out here. Information is vital on this map. Very vital due to the verticality. So, yeah. Disappointed the operator picked it.
They're kind of just going for that speed racer sort of lineup with what's that? 1, 2, like three speeds. Mozzie's a 3-speed, isn't he? Or is he 2-speed? I don't even know.
He's a 3-speed. I'm pretty sure.
He's a 3. Yeah. So you got you got 3 speeds and 2 speeds. So and then obviously you've got Legion to slow down the pushes in your hallways, Mutes to slow down those drones. Same with Mozzie, which can definitely make it a little bit harder. From the picks they've gone with, I'm assuming their whole like build for their comp is centered around how they're going to hold 90, which they've literally just lost straight away.
Yeah, and they're not. Have they reinforced 90 off? They've reinforced Volt off, so they're not trying to really hard hold it anyway. So I just don't know what to say. There's not really to look into. It's like they just want to shoot him and get it over with. Which is hopefully what they want to do.
I think they left it soft.
Soft. Maybe they were trying to play 90. They were trying to blow loose 90. Either that or they forgot. I'm not too sure.
I'm really hoping that it wasn't the fact that they forgot and it's just that's part of their big brain strategy as we do see Ghetto get taken down. That's the bandit off the board and PRX is going to be playing over in the study waiting for them to come into obviously aviation as the C4 blows up through the floor, nearly taking someone out. Johnster taking out Hayward with that cheeky headshot. 35 seconds left on the clock. Hibana going down by PRX. Sphinx taking out Dino. It is 2 versus 3 as we do see everybody going off the board. Arlo but taken down and it's just all around kills. Johnson getting that last C4 and apparently Team 53 huge brain plays coming out because we really thought that wasn't going to happen.
Well, yeah, I said the 7-0 and I'm already damn wrong. Oh well, they did start on defense. But anyway, I think the main reason why that worked so well for Team 53 is they just backed off. They finally played a defense well and backing off to their angles and backing off to the safe places. They had the one guy pressuring from the study balcony. But apart from that, on the flip side, Homeless didn't really take advantage of the weaknesses of the Team 53 defense. Wall was left soft and they just tried to shotgun it. And I don't think I really saw anyone push it too hard. They could have all piled through there, smoked off the bar and planted almost. So maybe a little bit on the flip side, that Homeless didn't play it as well as they could have.
Yeah, it was really awkward the fact that so the 90 wall was open, obviously that goes into Vault, but we saw 3 people try to funnel through the one door that was on aviation, which was a little bit awkward. That and the Hibana jumped in onto the balcony right in front of the door.
Yeah.
So he got shot before he even made it inside. He was obviously going to be their flanker because they no longer needed him on the hard breach. Him dying, I say, threw that round. At the end of the day, if he was alive, they wouldn't have get picked off by the 2 guys playing in study. They had Sphinx and somebody else.
Yeah.
Hammond?
10 seconds.
Hamyo, yeah. I think it was,
he had the shotgun because he was running around there with the Jaeger shotty, I think.
5 seconds to insertion.
I think so anyway.
So yeah, if that pinch had worked out well from across landing into
Objective
study,
is to locate a bomb and
it might have looked a bit different. But yeah, well played by the defenders. They did back off to the ground, which had been given to them, as you said. So yeah, kudos.
Let's see if they can make it happen a second time. We are going to the split objective, which is statue and trophy. Looks like they're going for a study push on the south side of the map. Nobody currently contesting them as they make their way on inwards. This is the beauty of having Jackal available, is you can just walk straight on in, unless, of course, you are playing against RMA, who brings Caviera. Oh my god! Plays coming up by Hayward as the drone flies around the corner, and the Hamyo just goes, drone?
Did that hit him in the foot? I swear to God, that drone hit him. I'm not sure what Hamyo was expecting then. And I'm surprised that hadn't been pre-droned as well. And another aggressive play coming out from Jodster. Taking down to a 5v3 already within the first minute of the round. Yeah, it should be pre-droned that before he even starts pushing it. It looked like the Ash was getting ready to drone himself down the hallway. So a little bit of lack of coordination coming out from home or something. And it almost worked out badly for him.
I was going to say, he definitely could have been back-traded for that mistake. He literally just snuck in that headshot. At the end of the day, it looks like Ghetto's going to be hard pushed by Hayward if he's not shot the face through the wall by Sphinx, who's reloading on the LMG. 58 bullets remaining is taken out. You're definitely not playing Call of Duty anymore, my friend. Dino taking out Sphinx, followed up by Dino taking the triple, taking out PRX and Ghetto with that huge push just on the end. I think he got a 4K overall.
And that was yeah, it would have been a 4K Dino. Yeah, well played by them. They got those early picks. Despite a little hiccup, that Jaeger v Ash 1v1 could have definitely gone either way. But apart from that, just explosive onto the side.
Yeah, I was going to say, as I said, it was a very bold decision to reload that Maestro LMG when you still have, I think he had 58 bullets in the or in the drum. So interesting decision, ended up getting him killed, and that's what ended up letting Jackal come in and take out the rest of the team. Looks like we are going... Oh, no 6-bit. But yeah, straight back to the same bomb site. Hopefully they'll play it off a little bit better this time and not get cleaned up by that rush. But definitely props to Homeless for utilizing the Jackal to its fullest and really just utilizing the bands as exact same thing. Like these, when strong picks are still up, you play them and you take advantage of it. It's straightforward. It's really straightforward.
Yeah, it was a good reply coming out from Homeless as well, considering how dominant Team 53 were in the previous round, and then them just answering back. And once more, the difference was that Team 53, they played way too aggressively. Their roamers off-site played way too aggressively, especially on that. You want to be able to back out of there eventually. You don't want to be dying. And they've just been... I'm not sure what the Jaeger was doing just running down that hallway. He should have, if he was clever, he would have played it from 90, where supporting his teammate, but... Yeah, it's just a lot of questionable plays coming out from the Team 53 defense.
Yeah, getting a little bit too over-aggressive, a little bit toey, if you will. And I think that's kind of let them down. They just need to relax a little bit. Even though, like, as you said, there's nothing that Team 53 can do at the end of the day. We do see Dino taking a Ghetto and PRX trading back onto Dino. Huge back and forth. Stiggs taking out PRX, living on, like, 5 hit points maybe, tops. 4 versus 3, technically a 3v3 because Stiggs is nearly dead, but they still have those exothermic charges on the board, which potentially will get them into the bedroom.
Only one man on side though, Sphinx, by himself.
Oh yeah, Hamio and Dunster are actually all the way over downstairs on the other side of the map. Very bold decision.
Yeah, if they can pinch this this kite on side, it's a free plan if they can work out where the intel is looking at him. And from the looks of it, really intel op. They have no intel op, so why are they playing downstairs? What? Okay, whatever. I won't question that. Henry's trying to at least aggress back onto the side to help out his teammate, but he's gonna back off to 90 and drop the hatch. I'm surprised that this is working so well. If they just had pinched Sphinx on site. This be looking badly, but it's down to a 1v3. Arlo on site without the diffuser. Looking at him, he finds the first one. Sphinx looking for the second. He's got plenty of time here. Don't forget, he has got plenty of time here. And he's gonna find not quite the first one. He's just looking around. He's waiting for them. I'm not sure if they know they have the diffuser in bathroom. I imagine they probably don't. So he's gonna start working his way over towards it. Finds a head, takes Hamyo's body clean off, and Arlo with the clutch 1v3. Oh, how have they let that happen? Beautiful play from Arlo. Beautiful shot. First one onto the stairs. Second one onto Johnson. Johnson, you should be refragging that the moment you see him peeking past. And Arlo going huge for the boys on Homeless.
Yeah, bringing it home for him. I was going to say, it was looking a little bit awkward there for a couple of seconds, and especially Arlo with the disrespect onto the Cade, kind of just eyeballing him for a little while before shooting him in the back of the head. Wasn't super confident it was going to go that way. It went south really fast for him. But, you know, as you said, Arlo bringing it home for the boys. Love to see it. But, sixth pick, Habana. Is this the strat?
Yeah, just the way they set up their crossfire then is what really cost it for him. Like, he peeked from the stairs. He didn't need to do that, as Johnster would have had a free kill. Like, he did not know Johnster was there at all, did he? If he had to just let him push, he would have got a free kill. Secondly, when he did peek the stairs, Johnster didn't try to re-peek at all. He just stood there and just accepted his fail. It's interesting. It was an interesting crossfire, to say the least.
Yeah, just awkward situations coming out all around. As well as I was trying to get at before they like literally just started absolutely going at each other. Team 53 have no way of going any further in the series or into Pro League, of course, from this Challenger series, as they only have 4 points from playing so far. But yeah, they can definitely put a dampen in Homeless if they wanted to, but at the end of the day, they don't have to play as hard as they can or like to peak performance because of obvious reasons.
Yeah. So yeah, not that we've seen them play much differently from this right now. And Arlo steps up from just like last round and takes that Hamyo first round. And Hamyo, he's confused. He's a little bit confused as to how he just got murked. So Arlo, we hope you have your moss on because he'll be checking it out later on, I think.
Yeah, getting domed straight at the start. Definitely not what you want to see. Arlo taking out Johnster. He's absolute frag machine this game, just clutching it out left, right, and center. Only 3 members of 53 remaining on the clock. Edo is tagged down to half as he's just chilling out upstairs. He gets a good trade onto Hayward, as it looked like Hayward tried to run up and knife him potentially. I'm not 100% sure what happened there, but he's definitely getting tagged through the wall. It gets taken out by Strider, because it definitely wasn't a situation that he could get out of.
Yeah, and just come down to a lull. The trades are coming out. 42. All of their on-site players are still alive, but we're used to that. Sphinx running around, a little bit scared. Don't blame the poor fella. And if they can, Homeless can just set up for a plant here. There's no one on that C4. The reason he's throwing that C4 once more is because there's a lack of information on site. And PX is going to go for the pre-fire. Can't quite find it. Dino pre-firing out into his jackal mark behind the bar. 2 full health players versus 1 pretty heavily tagged. And Dino's going to take off the head of, what was that? The Legion out in study. Dino's just going off the cliffs here. He's just disrespecting. He pushes in. The Sphinx is running out of the study hallway. Ooh. Finds the first one, but he can't find the second. Arlo just pistols him. The disrespect. He hit him with a nomad. Oh, God. Oh, man. And that's the round gone there. And Homeless will go up 3-1. Team 53 are running around like headless chickens on that defense, especially on the roam. People just running around again. Yeah, I'm not sure what to dissect from it, because it's not even really getting to a plant situation either. So, yeah, take it away, Red.
Yeah, definitely not what you want to be doing in these sorts of situations. As even though I literally just said, hey, they're probably not going to try their hardest. It's not looking like they're trying at all. I'm just going to say it plant. as you said, there's no information going out. That
Defenders, protect your
C4,
bombs from
maybe he
being
wanted
used by
it to
attackers.
go a little bit higher and go out the door. I'm assuming that is literally the only reason that one was going to come
Mate.
out and like long arm Dino.
He's going to have to be a bloody NFL quarterback to throw a bloody C4 that far. Jesus.
Just yeets it all the way to the other side of the
Go
room.
along,
from the back.
son.
It didn't quite work out, and it only ended up just clearing the barbed wire for him just to quickly get onto the room and take out the rest of the team. Know what you want to do? This is a really
10
nice
seconds
camp.
to go.
What?
Sorry,
I
was
looked
hiccuping,
when
I'm
you,
like,
I looked
"What?"
when you said, yeah, this is a nice cam. It's Dino's outside. I'm like, wait, what are you on about, friend?
No. Strider had a cam. He jumped up on the statue and then jumped up onto the beams on the ceiling.
Okay. Sorry, I was looking at my stats sheets. I have 5 minutes laid out on my desk.
You're like, yes, I need to. Either way, yeah, very good cam. I'm not really sure what Hamyo's going for with the basement play. Yeah, you can use it to roam around, like rotate back around, but they're not in yet. So
It's a good. I personally don't mind the basement roam, but the fact that they have 2 roamers on this site, where how many people they got on site?
I think they got 3 on side. Yeah, 3.
3. Okay, yep. So it's can be interesting if they can quell these roamers. That's the first nitro going off, so that'd be 1 of 3 or 1 of 2 at the very least. But yeah, those roamers on the bottom floor can be quite annoying on the late game kind of thing. When if it goes down to a 5v5 plant, no one's going to be on those drones watching it. So the first kill will go to Team 53 as well. So get over it. Finally one onto Hayward, the Ash, who's been pretty potent so far.
Yeah, looks like my call out of 3 on site was incorrect. They actually only have Sphinx sitting on games at the moment. We do have Ghetto over on the main stairs, over on Classical. And we also do have PRX over on towards Red Stairs or the statue entry point. But Junster's going to be taking out Arlo. That's one of the 2 top fraggers being taken out really early into the game. But Junster's getting slapped. I don't think that Strider quite knows he's there. And he
no.
What an absolute tragedy. But he gets traded back, and Fourth Stiggs just picking it back up for everybody else. He cleans up 2 people. That's both roomers down.
Attackers recover.
Stinks has won before. Don't forget. Last week, can he do it again? Can he back it up for the elephant game, for the elephant pack? I'm not sure which one it is.
But yeah, he still has a minute on the clock. He still can get it done. It's still a 1 versus 3. That's the downside. Flashbang's coming up onto the top. It may or may not have found Ghetto. I'm not 100% on that one, but he's going to be rotating over to the red stairs and see if he can get it up from there. Bit of a more bold situation that everybody's... Oh, no.
And the calls go out.
I was going to say these rotated around to the other stairwell. We still have Sphinx and everybody waiting for him to come around this corner, whether or not he can find...
Oh my, no, what the hell?
Whoa, back traded.
What was the Legion doing then? He just ran at him. Why? I'm not okay. Don't worry. Okay, they won the round. Good job, Team 53. Well played. What Team 53 did well in that round is they played off their roamers. They helped support them as they basically. So you sometimes need to do with your own. You need to use them as bait for the people on site to just rotate down, which is what they did. They had someone rotate down from the main stairs and kill the player pushing the roamer out in the library. So well played to Team 53.
Yeah, big brain plays coming out. Well done all around. They've brought it to 3-2, which is actually, it's a lot higher than we thought it was going to be. After both the double up on the 7-0 calls, both being wrong. But they're doing a lot. I think it's looking a lot cleaner than their clubhouse play. Their clubhouse play style was all over the place. Homeless all around are looking fairly clean. It's definitely like 1 or 2 people on their team that are executing things for everybody else at the end of the day, like Arlo and obviously Hayward are both popping off. Dino's definitely in there as well.
Dino's had 2 really good rounds actually.
Yeah.
So the rounds which weren't clutched out or close, Dino's just dominated.
Picked up on, yeah. And that's pretty much what you want from a team at the end of the day, is that after your main fraggers are down, that everybody else is still can potentially pick up the slack.
5 seconds.
Yeah,
left
and
before
it is attack on Villa, one of the hardest things to do, and they also are in the lead on that
Attackers are
attack.
moving
So
out to locate a bomb and
it's a good base to jump off of into those defenses for Homeless.
And potentially are able to take that number 2 seed depending on how tomorrow night's games go. But we're just going to have to wait to see if they can actually clutch, or not even clutch this one out, just take it home in general, as the scores are fairly even. I don't want to say completely even because it's obviously 3-2, but it is close.
If they win this, Pro League is 100% guaranteed for Homeless, I'm pretty sure. They did think that last season, Homeless, so they'll be crossing their fingers that somehow God doesn't strike them down from the Pro League qualifiers. Hopefully, all of them piss clean, as they say in the fighting terminology.
Yeah, definitely. No doping coming out from Homeless. That would be great, as we do see some homeless people having a little bit of drug problems. The first kill coming out from Sphinx, taking out Dino. That's definitely going to be good for the defenders. And outside of that, though, 4-5. It's take it away, Spruce. I can't stop.
Yeah, they've set up well for a master take here. Stig's rotating out of the master balcony, and 3 homeless players have already taken the study side of the map, so it's looking quite good just for that execute onto the master. If they can manage to get through these walls, no one's impact tricking these walls whatsoever. No one is no one's really band tricking either, so it shouldn't be free real estate to get these bands off the wall, and he gets impacted by his teammate at the exact same time, and Sphinx goes huge with a triple kill, and it's left down to Stiggs in a 1v5. It's not looking good at all for Homeless in these last 2 attacks.
Oh, the yeeted C4 coming out to clutch that last one out. Ghetto. He literally slapped him with it.
Oh, wow, yeah, he's just gone flying off of it. Yeah, no,
I hit him in the chest.
Yeah, well worked by them. And I thought Homeless were in the right position. I guess they kind of they weren't able to trade off of each other, especially that impact trick going onto the so not the impact trick, the actual impact going onto the Ash as he ran into sight. That did not look too good for him, and it took off about half his health as he ran in. So we go into Homeless's defense now. 3-3. It's where you want to be.
Yeah, they definitely have a good chance of taking this one home. As you said, defender-sided map. Interesting that the knock has been taken up as the 6th pick, obviously, from the Dokabe. I'm not sure this is it, Chief, but at the same time, you know, swapping it out, maybe sneaking it in, because for once, we are actually seeing some, what are they called? Camera operators coming out, intel operators, which is pretty much what we want to be seeing at the end of the day. Information comes out, you're able to hold your position significantly better. And
I like that Maestro camera. You see that Maestro right down there looking down? That's a nice Maestro camera. It is kind of isolated, so it can be counted quite easily, but if they can manage to isolate it and blow it up, it will be a burden off their shoulders.
As long as it stays stationary and doesn't get taken out too early, it definitely is going to give them a lot of help. Down at the bottom of the what's it called? Astro stairs.
Astro stairs, yep. I'm interested to see how this
yeah.
I'm so interested to see how this Nook, or where he enters, or how he plays this out. It looks like he's going to go for a bottom floor kind of clear. I'm not sure how solid. There we go. That's the teamwork I like to see. I'm not sure what the point of doing that is, because it's bottom floor and no one's really going to hear you entering. But anyway, good. I like the hitting him. He's going to get droned up these Astro stairs, or basement/Astro stairs. If you can find a free pick off this, it's looking really good, because you don't really expect this push too often. This little cheeky pantry push. He's going to be by himself, it looks like. He don't know what he's shooting at there, and Al opens it up onto PRZ. Gets rid of the Nomad. They're still not aware of this Nook's presence. But from the looks of it, it doesn't look like anyone's actually playing downstairs, except for this Jaeger on Astro. Apart from that, Study's pretty isolated. But this is where the hard hole's coming out, the castle barricade. That is a nice little setup, and it gets taken out instantly, but Hayward takes out the man with the gun, and then it leads it down to a 5v3.
This is a really good angle, as you said. Not only did they have the Maestro can, but they've set up a lot of stuff down here. They've got the shield to pretty much help from the other angle, further down the hallway, plus a couple of Jaeger traps to slow down the frags, taking that out. And camera pretty much just guarantees he's got it. On top of that, Arlo's got the top-down angle straight onto the exact same doorway.
That is
just a bait all round.
That's a really nice strat coming out. I'm not sure if it's really really worth showing, to be honest. That'll be an interesting strat for some pro league teams to look out at, and most likely will be getting clipped right now. So I'm not sure if it was appropriate game to bring it out on, but anyway, really nice strike coming around from Homeless. I'm quite impressed.
No, either way, they're just trying to confirm that they can get those extra points that they definitely do need to confirm their positioning in Pro League. But it is 4-2. I was about to say 4-3. Sphinx is at half HP at the moment, and we do see Arlo taking a little bit of damage there, and getting dropped significantly low. But unfortunately, Hayward is going to be taking out Ghetto, and it's all up to Sphinx now. At about 30 HP, 3 versus 1. Everybody's pretty low outside of obviously the Maestro, who's sitting at full HP just outside of, I think it's just outside Statue.
And he doesn't even have the bomb either, so it's looking pretty bleak for him. He's crouched the whole way through, so if he's going to catch his Maestro off guard, brings it down to a 2v1. 15 seconds left. If Sphinx can clutch us up, it'll be quite the play. They don't know exactly where he is. He can get around this point. He goes to the bait and switch. Sphinx, big brain, goes around, fires another one. Doesn't have the diffuser though, so he's trying to find the other one in bathroom. Can't quite find it. The other one's peeked out downstairs, and that'll be it. He's left the nitro on the diffuser. Well played by that final player. I'm not sure who that was. Might have been Haywood, possibly, but closes out the round for Homeless, and that'll bring up to a 4-on-3 in terms of Homeless's favor.
And he nearly actually clutched that out with the full 5k as well. On top of that, like, saw it coming out in the fee that, you know, he was just going ham. But unfortunately, he actually wasn't the diffuser in Astro?
Yeah, the diffuser was an Astro, yeah.
He just skimped over it and tried to go for the 5th pick instead. Interesting decision, as he more than likely could have rotated over onto Statue and gotten the plant down. But, you know, we all don't make the best decisions at the time. These things happen. Better luck next time.
And you're going to see a kitchen dining defense coming out. So this is probably, I'd say this is still a pretty strong side, especially judging from how Homeless' strats have been going so far. They will bring out the vertical play quite heavily, and really Team 53 has struggled with that recently. So if it continues off that kind of back foot from Team 53, I can just see Homeless kind of romping through them.
Yeah, and obviously, now that they're on defense, they've got such a strong lead already. I don't see this going, like, in a bad way for, obviously, Homeless.
5 seconds to go.
It looks like they've got a well-rounded team. They've brought the pulse for the verticality play, and more than likely are going to be playing everybody else either close to the side or over in the study area for that long angle that goes onto balcony. Outside of that, probably just going to have everybody roughly same areas and potentially playing at no, they did bring the Maestro.
Yeah, that's nice. Oh no, they haven't brought a Maestro, no. So
no.
They seem to just
Bomb located.
They haven't brought a Maestro. Well, I don't know why. Maestro is such a strong operator. He's got the 80 baud LLR. He's got 2 bulletproof cameras, and Strider's just reading this like a book. Perfectly placed pulse. This should be a free kill for him, really. If you go for this pre-fire, they're not going to expect this crazy man coming out. And he's already been downed. Really well played. Dino cleaning up from above, and just well communicated from Homeless there. And those solo players getting punished so much by Homeless. It's nice to see.
Yeah, Strider's going for that verticality as much as he could. He probably could have gone for that C4, as we did see Johnston just casually sitting there for a decent amount of time, just holding that tight angle. C4 coming out from Strider, cleaning out PRX. Bye-bye, good night. And yeah, it's now down to 3 versus 5. Oh, but we do see Johnston coming out and getting a headshot onto Dino. That's a really good pick, but he isn't able to make it a second as Hayward and Arlo take out 2 of the members of 53. and it's all up to Ghetto now, and he's still outside waiting for this run out potentially on the window. I don't think it's going to happen, but at least he does have the diffuser in the event that he does clutch out, potentially get the diffuser down, make something happen. And he just wants them to jump out.
Look, I don't blame him. You know, get some stat pad. I respect his play. If I were him, I'd be probably saving the AWP, buying pistols next round for the boys. You know, push around him. Maybe go up banana towards long. Try to get the plant down on B. Wait, we're not playing CS:GO. Okay.
Wait, that's not how you plan Goose.
Yeah, we're playing R6. My bad. Okay. Yeah. If I were him, I'd probably just run in and die and get the round over with. I'm begging to get it.
45 seconds left on the clock. There's got plenty of time to talk it out with the boys, decide what they want to do for the next round, as they're definitely getting backpedaled away further and further from like closing this game out, as Homeless are tightening the screws on them. Looks like, as I said, he's probably just wasting time at the end of the day. He's just having a quick chat with the boys. Straight to run out. Yep.
I gotta respect the stat pad grind. You know, when I was playing, I never had the balls to do it personally, you know. I thought it was dishonorable. But to see someone do it in the flesh and blood, you know, I respect that. I respect that.
I would like to see him rappel down the center.
5 seconds left.
Skylight.
It's a free frag. It's a free frag, isn't it? It's an easy kill for him. Like, no one expects that.
Exactly.
And the time goes out,
Operators, you are
and we're
out
not
of
going to
time.
get that minute and 30 of our lives back ever again, and neither will the audience. And frankly, I apologize for that. Next round, 5-3, Homeless Way. Pretty good defense, in my opinion. Not really much to read into it. There's a lot of solo players coming out, down to a Ghetto Vet solo save.
Yeah, they're going back to Aviation and Games Room. More than likely gonna go 6-3. I'm not sure about the next round, obviously, but interesting with the Montagna pick on Sphinx. I like the pick, not on the player though.
Why is that, Fred?
I just think it could probably be better utilized on somebody else.
Who are you saying?
Who am I
Fred?
saying?
Yeah.
Operators need to locate and defuse bombs.
I'm not saying anything. Man.
Okay, that's all.
I mean, PRX might be able to pick it up for the boys.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
okay, that's respectable. PRX is currently on a hard boots operator, so I think someone's going to play the Montaigne. You know, I used to play shield operators back in my days. You know, so generally you do give the shield operator to the best player in the team, logically. Yeah?
Yes, you're right.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's how it works. So,
How did you get put on shield then?
I don't know, man.
10 seconds remaining.
I'm gonna see myself out. Anyway, on this this heavy air defense, I don't think. Oh, there's a little bit of a special strike coming out here. They're going to be trying to hold the library down.
Locate
Bit of nukes, bit of utility. I imagine like the Mozzie down there as well. So, interested to see if this roam can come out from all this extended side hold, as some may say.
Yeah, and this is the first time we've seen Montagna tonight. Also backed up with a couple of the smoke grenades, and Johnster picking up the first pick onto Dino. This is really good, even though that he's brought down to a low amount of HP. Even if he's down, he can still potentially pick himself back up and be saved in that scenario. But yeah, they've brought a lot of more utility than they normally bring. Even though they don't have like a utility clearer, they still are able to like hard push up main stairs and potentially get control of 90 and push in through study. If that looks like the strat that they're going for.
The only bane of... Oh, when he gets taken down, where was that from? Above him, from the top door, and that's really well played from Arlo, taking down the main pushing power. I feel as if they would have put all their eggs into that one basket, as so far Team 53's pushes have been rather mediocre. So seeing that go down, now another one going down, the full health Habana. So it's basically a 2.5 v4 right now in favor of Homeless. Not looking very good for him.
Yeah, a very awkward situation, as it's more than likely a strat that they haven't tried out too much, or they just weren't aware of the verticality that you can play there. If you don't drone out the 90 hallway properly, obviously that is bound to happen, unfortunately. And Stiggs getting a cheeky pick onto Johnston. I'm surprised he actually downed the first couple bullets. Looked like
No.
they were a headshot.
Ghetto, no, please. Thank you, Ghetto. Gets and runs and gets a beautiful pick on the Stiggs. Even though the rebound picks up that Legion mine. Please, I'm begging you, Ghetto, get these extra kills and clutch it up. I don't want to see you on the roof again. A minute left. Can he find an extra one? That's the question. Chucks the Claymore down. It's not under the Astro window this time, so it might actually do something. He kicks towards 9, he gets the pre-fire out. He's basically just waiting for someone to push him, and that's what he has to do in this scenario. This diffuser is stranded, and it's not looking good. The wall is open, that's a positive, but he's going to be holding a lot of long angles on. He gets the pre-fire off of the Maestro, doesn't get any damage off onto him. Tries to peek around to this Legion who he knows just wide picked him, but can't quite find another one. He might be holding it from landing. They both have these angles basically locked down. Can't find the first. Hayward will take out Ghetto. We didn't see him saving the orb this time. We didn't see pistols being bought and armor. We saw around our homeless, and that'll be 6-3. And this will be match point, series point, and Pro League point for homeless here.
Yeah, definitely going to be a rough one. Well, probably not a rough one because they only need to take one more home, but definitely playing as best as they can. I can imagine they want to secure this after last season, just barely missing out on going to Pro League by a smidgen. And so this is probably literally what they've been praying for the entire period in between series. And, this last round could be it. Or potential last round, I should say.
You know what? I hope for homeless this is their last round. They've been playing really well, and they deserve it.
Yeah. They definitely got fairly lucky, even though they more than likely would have won those rounds versus I think it was Monkey Business last night that the rounds were forfeited. Yeah, so they picked up some free points there, which did put them in the top seed, though they more than likely would have gotten those anyway, I would like to say, just because of how they have been playing. But yeah, they've been doing fairly well, and yeah, I think they're going to close it out here, and, as we said, go to Pro League.
Yeah, it was one of the stronger sites as well, so it didn't really... this was the one which... What happened? It was down to a Sphinx 1v...
10 seconds to go.
Yeah,
this is
I was going to say, this was where the buck was...
yeah, so I feel as if
clutch out.
they'll learn from their mistakes and tighten the screws a bit.
Yeah,
Attackers are moving out to
definitely
locate
not
a bomb
try
and
to
defuse it.
1v1 the buck for 3 people back-to-back and do the old run it one at a time strategy. Unfortunately, rank stars do not comply here. But yeah, looks like we're going to see a similar push coming out from 53. Sorry, I do have the hiccups right now.
Casters first, hiccups.
Oh man,
It happens to the best of us, mate. Being an experienced caster myself, had it happen back to Tokonami,
A bomb is
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
in Dev Marta's suitcase, I was casting by myself. It happened.
Oh, well, we are seeing 53 try to take control of the bedroom and push their way into the site. More than likely going for that default wall down, straight plant onto statue. If they can get it open or not, it does look like they are trying to potentially impact Trick with no impacts unless the Vigil is playing on site, which would be
No,
really
They're
strange.
using their minds to impact. Blow them up through the wall.
Impacting the game in another way.
Yeah, exactly. That's how far.
Oh no! Dino's coming back. No way.
And as you can see on that silhouette, we saw Strider and Dino. I think it was Strider and Dino. They realized that no one's really pushing them. Sorry, not Dino. Hayward, maybe. They realized that no one's pushing them. So they're going to rotate downstairs and try and get these flankers from below. And he gets taken out by Hanyo. Right down to a 44, but we do have these flankers coming up. I'm not sure where they're going to be able to push them from. Red or Astro? They're going to have to try and work something.
Yeah, it's definitely not advantageous peeking that pixel peak with the Boss G. It is not the next patch yet, so it doesn't have the ACOG scope on it. And just not paying off. Ghetto tagging down onto Hayward a little bit. Looks like he downed him onto those stairs, or he's left.
Johnston
He's
caught
dead
him
now.
on the
Never mind, he
back,
just
yeah.
caught him back. Yeah, Arlo taking out Johnston. It's now just 3 versus 3. 1 minute left on the clock. Homeless need to clutch this out. They don't have
bomb diffuser has been dropped.
much else to do as the straight trades coming out back and forth. It's 2 versus 1. Sphinx needs to find those kills. 1 versus 1. Arlo, the big man himself, versus
Attackers have
Sphinx.
located a bomb.
And I don't think Sphinx knows where he is. And Homeless, a big
more than likely going to Pro League as Arlo clutches out that final kill that they just barely needed, giving them enough points. We'll still have to wait and see after the calculations, but at the moment, looks good.
There we go. We have it.
We have
Homeless
confirmation.
to Pro League.
Boom.
Homeless to Pro League, everyone. Congratulations to the boys over on Homeless. Arlo having a barn burner, playing it out of his mind, and the rest
14 kills.
playing their roles.
Done really well for them tonight. 7-3 Homeless have taken it home, winning both of their games. Obviously, in the previous ones, we had Rhythm versus RMA, but Rhythm taking home both of those. It's been a really good night tonight. What do you have much else to add, Sprucey boy?
No, it was as we expected. The more dominant teams, the more coordinated teams came out on top as expected. Back to the drawing board for Team 53 and RMA. Hopefully they're still around for next Challenge League, and we can see them maybe make a run up for the top 2 next time.
Yeah, absolutely. So just like to say thank you for everyone for tuning in tonight. Obviously, it's been a real pleasure casting these matches tonight. Thanks for Dev Marta for observing. Obviously, did a really spot on job. Actually showed us a lot of good things. Thanks Monkey Fist for obviously producing everything tonight. Thanks to my co-caster with his colorful commentary, old Sprucey boy over here. And I think that's about it. We're going to be signing off and hope that everybody has an absolutely banger of a night. You say, guys, stay safe out there with, obviously, if you're in Queensland and New South Wales, bushfires going on. But outside of that, we're signing off. Catch you next time.
Goodbye, everybody.
Cracky. Cracky.